Live. I'm going to get this link posted all over the place. I'm assuming that there's probably going to be some Park Hills families and things like that that are going to be trying to jump in here. We tried to do the best that we could to advertise last night that this was going to be happening, and we're going to start blasting a link out on Facebook here and social media. So I'm not going to be talking a whole ton as I'm getting through this process, but I'll do the best that I can to keep the conversation going for anybody that does pop in here. So, obviously, Park Hills, you guys had a wild evening last night, having to drive all the way back and then getting here today. But we have football, and the weather's nice, and it looks like the rain's going to hold up. So we're in a good spot now. I'll be joined by my co-commentator, Dave Koppelmann, here in just a little bit, hoping that I can get some kids on cameras for us. Otherwise, we might just have this one camera right here. It's going to depend on what that looks like. So we will at least obviously have this one camera. Typically for our broadcast, we have multiple cameras. We're up to 5 viewers right now, so 5 viewers that just jumped in, just wanted to let you know that I am currently trying to blast this live stream link out on Facebook and our social media, so those Park Hills families and whatnot that were not able to make the drive on this unplanned Saturday morning also have a link to it. So for the 5 people, you guys are on top of it. You must have seen on YouTube that I already got it started because I haven't posted on any socials yet. So feel free to hop in the chat, let us know anything you think. Locust 22, sorry I'm not able to make it today. Hope you have some other people to come help. Yeah, thank you so much, Granite. Regardless, Granite, we'll make this thing work. So appreciated your help last night and all that you always do for TV Studio. You're a huge help to us. So if you're Phil, you're the come to the game. All right, looks like I now have the link on Facebook. If you're hearing this and you're a Park Hills family, or if you are a Dutchman family, we are going to have this on Facebook. So hopefully we can start getting this out to all the people that would maybe want this. All right. All right, we got our link posted here. I also, if anybody, Locust 22, granted, is the band playing? I don't believe so, no. I think because of the reschedule, I'm going to be honest and say I'm going to be surprised if all the cheerleaders are here. I don't really know the answer to that, so I'm not 100% sure. My guess is no. But purely a guess, so don't take it for fact. All right. Again, here in just a few minutes, I'll have my my co-commentator, Dave Koppelmann, up here with me. and we will be able to I'll pass the mic off to him. He'll give you some commentary, continue some of the conversations that we had from last night, and I will get cameras set up. Hopefully we got some football manager or something like that that's available and is going to film for us on top of the press box here. We'll see. The weather out here, for anybody that's curious, it's much, much cooler than yesterday as far as temperature-wise. It is a little overcast. Maybe a little bit humid, but honestly not terrible. So I think as far as for the players, it's going to feel extremely comfortable playing this morning. So that's really nice. Can't complain about that for sure. Gonna get this thing shared on a couple more groups, so people can feel free to share this on Facebook, which is our main way of getting the link out. So let's see here. And last thing, I think I joined a Park Hills group on Facebook last night. Let's see if I can find that again. What's happening in Park Hills Mo? I think that was the group that I joined last night. So let's see. We have a group here in Owensville called Owensville Mo Talk, where a lot of people in the community share stuff that's happening in our community. I don't know if that's the same way with this Park Hills group, but we'll see. Thank you for those that are bearing with me here. We got a few people in here. I'm trying to get the links out for the broadcast. Let's see. I'm just about done here. And like I said, this evening, or this afternoon, I should say, not this evening. This afternoon, as we are broadcasting, if you have any comments or anything like that, feel free to drop in. All you have to do to comment is subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to grow our subscriber count, so we appreciate any and all subscribers. Let's see here. At 11 a.m. Oh. Whoops. I made a post on the Central Park Hills football page, and I forgot to put the link. There we go. All right, I think that's about the best I could do as far as getting the links out. So I think we were good there. I guess while I'm waiting for Coach Dave to get here for me to go set up the other cameras, I'll go ahead and go over a couple things that we discussed yesterday evening. And first off, this is a new game for the Dutchmen, and obviously if it's a new game for the Dutchmen, it's a new game for the Rebels as well. Typically, the Owensville Dutchmen have opened their season up in the last few years against the Cuba Wildcats, but this season we have changed our schedule, as the Rebels have as well. we no longer play Cuba, and we're starting our year off with Park Hills. I don't know if this is going to be something that I don't know what the contract is. I imagine we're definitely going to Park Hills next year. So I imagine it's at least 2 years, but this is our first look at Park Hills. I don't have any recollection of playing Park Hills in any recent years. So let's go ahead. I'm going to throw up the Dutchmen schedule last year and this year first. This is not what I wanted to show. I think it's not that either. It is this. This is the schedule from, getting a call from Casey Earhart. Give me just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Hello? Nothing, live broadcast. It's the football game. It's rescheduled today. I don't know, and I won't be able to figure out for a few hours. Okay, sounds good. Okay, sounds good. All right, I apologize there. I'm in a local band called Barely Covered. We have a gig this evening, and the drummer in our band, he had just contacted me to discuss something for that. But regardless, here's the schedule for the Owensville Dutchmen this year. It's on the right, and then on the left is going to be the results from last year. So like I said, you can see we opened up our season last year after our jamboree at Cuba. This year, we replaced that game with Park Hills, and also that Eldon game that you see in Week 2 is now replaced with St. Francis Borgia. You can see that. And I guess it's not really replaced. It's just moved back because we're still going to be playing Eldon, but it looks like we dropped Warrenton off our schedule. So right off the bat, we replaced Cuba and Warrenton with Park Hills and Borgia. And as I'm talking here, the man of the hour, Coach Dave Koppelmann, is now here. He just got done with cross-country practice. He'll be jumping on the mics in just a second, and I will let him take over talking about the schedule again here as I get a camera on top of the press box and try to find somebody to run that thing. So, Coach, I think I have yours. Or no, this one's yours, I think. I think I ran my headset through here. Coach, these schedules here are right here and here.
Okay.
If you want to chat with them. So
right on.
I'm going to go get some stuff set up, and Coach Dave is here with you now.
Hey, welcome back, guys. If you're one of our folks that tuned in with us last night, you know we had a fun time. It was a blast with a little bit of rain, and probably I was pulling into my driveway. It was still a little rainy, but the lightning died down, and shoot, we might have been able to have a little bit of fun here last night. But hey, bring it back out on a Saturday. Rained a little bit more last night, though, but that lightning died down, and shoot, we had a great morning of practice. Sorry, I got a little taken back. I'm looking at our boys out there. They're looking like they're ready to go for a Friday night game on a Saturday morning. Ready to go. This is a much different atmosphere than you've ever seen before. Our tailgating, nobody's out there tailgating right now. I thought we might have had some, but I've already seen a couple people. I stopped in at Casey's on my way in, and there were some Central Park Hill Rebels fans there getting themselves a little snack. 11 o'clock tip-off game or a kickoff game is a little bit of a different story. You know, typically on a Friday night, you got that ability to be able to go out and eat dinner. Well, eat a little bit of something, you know, before that 7 o'clock kickoff. And now we're talking 11 o'clock. Well, if you're waking up early at 7 or 8, eating breakfast then, you're getting a little hungry around noon. So these guys hopefully have had a little bit more of a snack ready to go. I don't know, as a runner, that's one of our biggest things is that, you know, if we have an 11 o'clock start for a race, we like to make sure that we have some type of snack, you know, a couple hours before, even though the digestive system isn't going to get it down. But I heard Coach T talking about one of these schedules. Let's pop this guy back up. You know, we talked about that Central Park Hills schedule last night, and the Central Park Hills schedule is just absolutely fantastic from last year. If you see that, you lose Yeah, you lose 3 big games there in the middle of your season to Cape, to St. John, and to Valley Catholic. And we talked about, a school like Valley Catholic is a perennial powerhouse in football. They just have been great since they started. They've moved up classes because of them being a private school. But again, their biggest loss was to Valley Catholic by 2 touchdowns. And I think for me, the biggest thing is that you could tell Central Park Hills is a resilient team by the way they battled back. They lost 3 in a row, and when you lose 3 in a row, it's hard to pick another win up. But they lost 3 in a row, and then not only did they come back, but they went back at Fredericktown, and it's unfortunate for Fredericktown, but they got homecoming. It looks like that was their homecoming game. That should be what that home icon is. And they put a beating on them, 59-7. And then they came back with Dexter for their senior night with a 44-10. So not just wins, but blowout wins. Then they beat Farmington again before they went into their district playoffs. And in the playoffs of districts, you can see there they went against St. John again. And even though they lost to St. John by 1 point earlier in the year, they came back with a vengeance, 52-13. So not only did they beat them, but they beat them bad. They beat them real bad. And then they didn't have any more competition even against Borgia. Finally, they ran into Blair Oaks where they had to win by, a touchdown. Well, it's 5 points, but basically a touchdown there. And then Seneca, I told you guys last night, I was driving through the south part of the state and drove through Seneca to get down towards Wyandotte and in Oklahoma. And I saw all the signs up for them, and I was just excited. I always get excited around football championship time, but then come to find out Seneca actually got beat. And I have some family down there, so that was kind of like, ooh, who'd they get beat by? Oh, it was Central Park Hills. So this year you can see that they're going against Jefferson Festus, which I believe is a slightly smaller school, probably a Class 2. We could look that up, but we're not going to. Then they picked up Fredericktown again. It looks like somehow Fredericktown already has a loss. I'm not sure how that one happened. St. Dominic. Typically, that's a bigger school, I believe, slightly bigger, but that doesn't look like, they got 3 new games on their schedule this year than people that they played in the past. Looks like their conference is probably St. John, Potosi, Farmington, maybe Jefferson. Herky might be in their conference or their district, something like that, but they're definitely a southeast school, and that's where they typically pick their games up. They had to probably travel good old Highway 8 or something like that to get up here. Yeah, so Park Hills, we're ready to see what you guys got today. So now let's go to Owensville's schedule. I know Mr. T, Coach T, was talking about it here for a second. We'll cover that one up. And Owensville last year, we started our season off with Cuba with that big win. That's always a real big ego booster. But now, we're going against the reigning state champs. So it might not be an ego booster today, but it's a challenge. And I think if you embrace the challenge in the right way, our boys can come out of here learning something and getting better, even if you don't win. If you do win, then it's a big statement for you. It's kind of one of those, almost like a win-win situation. You're either gonna beat the returning state champ, or you're going to be able to say you picked up quite a few things from the returning state champs, and you're going to see, your team grow. So that's the way I look at adversity like that. We went against Eldon again. That was a nail biter. We had another nail biter early. Well, not early in the year, I apologize. It was towards the middle of it against Union, that 38-35 win at Union. That was huge for us last year. Went against Herman and Pacific, conference rivals. Sullivan, another conference. St. Clair, another conference, right? And we lost to quite a few conference schools there at the end. But we did bring Lutheran South here at home for that district game, and we put a beating on them. I believe that was at home. And then we had to go to Borgia, and Borgia ended up taking us out in that second round of districts, 49-14. But if you look at that score compared to the way Borgia got handled by Central Park Hills, you knew Central Park Hills had a great team last year. So looking at our current schedule, right, we had our preseason jamboree. We went up to Herman. That was last Friday. The boys had a blast. They talked about that in my classes this week. They had a blast. They had a good time. And I think part of a jamboree is learning. Part of it is getting the experience. And part of it is just having some fun, So So we're going to kick off with Central Park Hills, and then we're going to go hit Borgia here next Thursday. So this is actually going to be a turnaround. I said something in our group chat that me and Mr. T are in, and it's kind of prepping you for the NFL here, playing a game on a Saturday, picking it back up on a Thursday. So instead of having a Friday night game and having the full week, we're actually going to have a much shorter week, but I'm sure Coach Howard's going to have this thing figured out. Coach Howard and his staff, they are solid. Let's see if I can turn this off here. I'll pull that schedule back up. You can see all of our coaching staff. They're walking in right there on the field. You don't need to look at my mug. But over here on the right, so we've got a couple new faces, a couple returning faces. But for the most part, that staff is still pretty solid, still pretty similar to what it was before. We got Coach Steve Benton here. We got Coach Kemp. We got Coach Lewis, Coach Payne. We got another Coach Howard out there, Brandon, Dustin's younger brother. And then Coach Sosa is still with us here in the fall before he might be going off to college. So we got a nice coaching staff. We do not have Coach Crow decided that he was on a one-year basis, so he's not back out there with us, but I'm sure he's here with us in spirit. But we do have a nice young coaching staff. I think probably the oldest guy out there is either Benton or Howard, one of the two, and Howard's probably about, I don't know, my brother's turning 37 or just turned 37, so I would imagine Coach Howard's probably around that same age. So we're pretty young. That's a youthful, energetic coaching staff. So back to our schedule. Once we get done with Borgia, we're going to go see Eldon again. You know, typically Eldon's that second or third week game. We are bringing Eldon here, though. That'll be good for us. And then we have quite a few more home games this year. We got 6 of them. 5 of them. I apologize. I thought we had 6. Somebody had said 6 before, but it looks like 5. So we do bring our conference schools back home, Eldon, St. James, and Herman. Back to back to back. We do have our Herman Senior Night on September 27th. It's a bummer. Cross country is going to Rimrock, Kansas that weekend, and so we're going to stick around for the homecoming parade, try to be able to participate in that, and then we're going to head out immediately after. Just every now and then you get those home games that just line up, and you got to do what you got to do. So we actually have 2 overnight meets for cross country on the 20th and the 27th. So no matter what it is, we'd be missing it whether they moved homecoming or not. So it's all good though. We will have a blast, and we will support our Dutchmen from afar. So Mr. T will be by himself on the 20th and 27th with somebody else up here in the booth with him. Then we go to Pacific. Pacific, you know, they had quite a few down years in a row. Oh, I don't know. That'd probably be about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. And then they started picking it back up. You know, they're a little bit bigger school than we are. And so they have definitely, sorry, there's a cable getting pulled in front of me. I was getting distracted by it. But they've definitely picked it back up. And last year they were able to take their... Oh, hey, give me a second. Tyler wants me. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that way. I know keep for like fun to it. I just now got started. Got views on popping. My diamonds going retarded. Yo, girl on deck is a party. I just wanna rollie with a dapper. I already got some designer to hold on my pants. I just want some ice on my wrist so I look better when I dance. Have you looking at it, put you in a trance. I just wanna rollie with a dapper. I already got some designer to hold on my pants. I just want some ice on my wrist so I look better when I dance. Have you looking at it, put you in a trance. Yeah.
A little more, don't we? Yeah, well, you know, it just takes the system out. Yeah. No problem.
Blue face, rolling, red face, rolling, ayy. Purple face, rolling like some Teletubbies, ayy. Baby diamonds wet, shining like some jumpies.
All right. I think I'm back. We're hoping to have some good students out here tonight, or out here today. Yeah, it's definitely not tonight. To man some cameras. So Mr. T was trying to get a couple wires unwired here, and well, he's up above the press box, and I'm down here in the press box, and we had to move some cables around real quick. So we should hopefully not have any more problems for you guys. Unbroken commentary, maybe. You never know. Try to get some cables out of the way here, so if I sound like I'm breathing heavy, it's because I am. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, very excited. Was able to recruit a couple guys to help us with cameras. Looks like we're up to 20 viewers now. Let me show you what we're dealing with today now that we have a little bit of help and what this is going to look like. So let me take Coach Dave and I's mugs off here. As we switch around here, we've got an in-tight camera here so you can see really what's going on the field. Then we have another camera here that's on top of the press box that looks like this, that will follow the outside, the whole play. And this one will be a little bit more zoomed in for you guys. So got some guys up there doing that for us. Then we have a press box cam here too that if I want to jump on and operate a little bit, we can make that happen. So Coach Dave, what have you been talking to him about?
Oh, we talked a little bit about our schedule, a little bit about their schedule, a little bit about just life in general. You know, I was giving them all the expectations. No, we did a little bit of talking about that, but then I'm just excited. I think the vibe of a Saturday is going to be a little bit different than it is on a Friday night.
I agree. I'm also going to try something we have not even ran since last year. We're going to see if the Stream Deck button works. Let's see here. We had a thing set up last year where we could do live replays, but it's also been since last year that we did that. So here's the instant replay.
Okay.
Let's see. We're very much amateurs here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, if you guys thought we were pro.
Okay, it did take those clips, so
Okay.
that's good. Now the next question is, does that know how to... Oh, I know why. It's because it's happening below it. So let's take our video capture device, which is this. Aha, it is there. Okay, let's take this below instant replay. Oh, thank you for bearing with us, guys. We're hoping we can offer you something maybe unique here.
All right.
Okay, it does work.
Yep.
So we'll play that out during the game. If there's a big play or something like that, we should be able to play back like the last 15 seconds or something like that. If it doesn't work, bear with us. We're doing the best we can here. What is this guy doing? I think I can delete that. All right. Okay, and also we got this pushed out on all the social medias that we can as of right now. So if you feel free to share those things, we appreciate it.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe the YouTube page while you're watching this. Helps our numbers, helps us be marketable, and it also, if you ever run into us again, if you're from Central Park Hills, you'll be able to watch some live games.
Absolutely. As you see at the top there, that's going to be the way we do score today. So you'll be able to see live scoring as well. And I'm going to make sure that our computer here is set up and ready to run that. Again, this is a little bit of kind of first stream of the year. So we're also working the bugs out as well. How was practice this morning, Coach?
I got on a bike and I rode for about an hour, and we had a good time. We had about 6 or 7 varsity girls and 4 or 5 varsity boys. Some of the boys we still got on, they're a little young and don't have a car themselves yet, so they're not always able to make it on a Saturday. And we understand it. We encourage them to get there, but we had a good time. Good, nice, easy run. That rain really cooled us off this morning, so it wasn't too bad at all.
Yeah, I will say that it's a little humid in here right now, but I think overall temperature is probably better than what it was yesterday.
Yes, I agree. Like when we closed the windows up yesterday, I started sweating, and today I feel like there's a little bit more breeze going too.
If anybody's in the chat from Park Hills right now, I'd be interested to know what time do you think that they got on the bus to leave this evening?
Yeah, I would.
I was guessing this morning. It had to definitely be before 8 because 8 would have only gotten here at 10. They were here by 10 for sure.
Right.
I'm going to guess they left no later than 7 a.m.
Right. Yeah, and what time they get home last night?
I know. It had to be. So they didn't leave here until about, is it 9?
9-ish, 8:30, 9, somewhere like that.
So I think they would have been lucky to get in bed by midnight, and then to turn around and they, I assume at their homes and whatnot, they had to wake up by no later than 6 probably.
Right.
So shout out to Park Hills. I know that had to be a less than desirable situation for you all. I'm glad to hear that everybody made it to and from safely, and we hope that you guys have a safe returning trip today after the game and trying to make the best of the situation here. So
how were you zooming in on the computer, on the camera?
Yeah, so you see this right here? This zooms you in,
okay.
And this zooms you out.
All right, thank you.
Yep, no problem. One of our camera guys here, we've got Jesse Smith. Do you know Jesse?
I know Jesse's name. I know who he is, but I don't personally I've never had him in class, so I don't know him too well.
Yeah, so we got Jesse Smith on top of the press box helping out with the camera, and then we also have Micah Duncan.
Oh, okay.
So
I do know a little bit more about Micah, just interacting with the wrestling crew a little bit.
And this is Jesse on the camera right now, so you can tell that he learned how to zoom in. So.
He's practicing, folks.
We had a big crew of TV studio kids here last night. I think we had Kai Keeney, Katie Lloyd, Kyle Bowman. I think that might be it. Kai Keeney, Katie Lloyd, Kyle Bowman. We had 3 people here to help us last night, but then obviously with the reschedule on short notice, we weren't able to have quite as much help for today. So we recruited some of the guys on the football team that weren't able to dress out today, and they're helping us on top of the press box. So very thankful for those guys.
Yeah, great job, too. Like, you can stand out there on the sideline, and that's admirable, but, hey, being able to help somebody else out, that's probably
That's an equally admirable deal. So, Coach Dave, here is do you want to do scoreboard or do you want to do the buttons there to switch? It's your call.
Ooh.
I'm good with either. It makes me no difference.
You know what? Let me go scoreboard.
Okay.
Because I know that I can handle the scoreboard. I did that one last year a couple times, and then I know you were pretty good at getting your fingers to click the button at the right time to switch.
Yeah. That's perfectly fine with me. And usually we would, like I said, try to have a TV studio kid will help us out with that. I'm going to leave this one, I think, on our bench.
Okay.
Because we put a camera up here last night during the rainstorm. This is actually in the press box. Well, that's the camera you're seeing right now. And we put it in the press box because obviously it was absolutely pouring. I'm just going to leave that camera stationed on our bench for now.
And I can probably, like, during the game, if our bench is moving up and down the field, I can move too. I can move that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Pretty easy thing. You want to switch besides?
Yeah. You want to just switch headsets?
Yeah.
Probably be easier.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we just performed the old switcheroony here.
We're back.
We're back.
You guys didn't even know we were gone.
So, Coach, I'll let you keep this guy.
Okay.
And we've got some rosters here. I'll go ahead and I'll talk about this. I'll list off the seniors for Central first. The Central Rebels, and I guess, do they go by Park Hills or do they just go by Central?
That's a great question.
I'm not 100% sure.
Wish we had somebody in chat to tell us, guys.
Yeah, if there's somebody out there that knows a little bit more about Central, the Rebels, I thought they were called Central Park Hills, but I could be wrong. So, okay, seniors for them, it looks like they've got Jonathan Boyer, 6'1", 175 wide receiver. Colin Holsey, 5'8", 160 wide receiver. Barrett Henson, a 5'9", 170 linebacker. And then Jackson Jones, a 6 foot tall, 195-pound quarterback linebacker. I believe this is the guy.
That's the one we got to.
Yes, I saw him on their Facebook page. He, obviously their starting quarterback. So Caden Boren, senior, 5'11", 180-pound offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Luke Guile, 5'11", 200-pound offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Aiden Reddick, a 6'1", 240-pound offensive lineman, defensive lineman. That's a big boy.
Yeah, these guys get big, man.
Absolutely. Justin Robinson, 6'3", 220 offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Mason Marler, 6'1", 190 offensive lineman, defensive lineman. And Hayden Carver, a 5'11", 240-pound offensive lineman, defensive lineman. So I haven't looked exactly at the heights and weights of our team, Coach, but the one thing that I think that stands out about these guys is the guys that they have in the trenches. They've got some experience. They're seniors, and they're big.
Mm-hmm.
So that obviously is very productive for a good running game, protecting the quarterback. That's a big thing in football. So Devin Bainbridge, thanks for joining us, Central Rebels. So I guess they go by Central Rebels, not Park Hills. So the Central Rebels, thank you for that. We appreciate that. And then the head coach for the Rebels is Corey Schweiss. Head assistant coach is P.J. Jones. And then they have a slew of assistant coaches here. We'll go through them real quick. We got Scott Aholt, Mark Casey, Ronnie, apologize if I say this wrong, Calvert, Donnie Bess, Jake Bridges, Kerry Politti, Josh Mitchell, Jamison Strange, Riley Calfield, Jace Bland, and Aaron Tyree. Obviously, the Central Rebels have a lot of other players as well that are not seniors, but we wanted to highlight the seniors. And just a quick count here, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seniors for the Central Rebels this year. So that's a pretty healthy amount of seniors there, Coach.
Yeah, there's not a lot of matriculation going on there. And you can see it looks like their sophomore class is probably their big class on the board.
Yeah, a lot of 10th graders on the old roster.
When you were talking about the seniors, there's a boy, Abel Mills. He's 6'4", 190 as a sophomore. And then they have a 6'3", 225 and a 6'2", 245er. And then a 5'8", 250. Like, those are some boys. So it's a matter of athleticism, and I have no doubt that they have it, seeing as how they're playing football and they're on the Central Park Hills team. So if they're athletes, they're dangerous.
Absolutely. And just as a reminder, I'm sure you probably mentioned this earlier while I was helping with cameras, this is a Class 3 state champion team from last year. So they're returning experience that maybe if they weren't on the field the entire time, because I don't know what their senior class was like last year, they were definitely exposed to some high-level football, and they got to be a part of something big, and that goes a long way for a program.
Right.
All right, Coach, you want to talk about the Dutchmen roster here?
Yeah. So our seniors.
You got some highlights on there.
Oh, okay. Well, I just circled some things, but hey, Zayden Gates is our wide receiver and defensive back. Xavier Bayless, another senior, he's listed as a running back and linebacker. Logan Bailey, running back, linebacker. Andrew Brown, running back and linebacker. Jaden Gerleman is a running back and linebacker. So we got a lot of those guys now. We're those guys, we don't have too much of a quote-unquote size description on our roster. So we know how big they are, but if you guys have never seen them before, they're not 6'3", 250.
No.
Right. Timothy Winnebauer, he's one of our offensive linemen, defensive linemen. And let me see, I got a few more. Connor Vogt, another good guy, senior, offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Braden Brandt, offensive lineman, defensive lineman. And Landon Losh decided to come out this year, and he is a wide receiver defensive back. So, yeah, the one thing we don't have sizes listed on ours, but I don't know how many of our boys really take over 200 pounds.
Yeah, not a whole lot. I know that for anybody that is a Dutchman fan or Park Hills just trying to know a little bit more about the team you guys are about to play, the only returning lineman on our offensive line, I believe, is Zach Barch. And Zach Barch is a junior this year. He was a center last year. I believe he's playing center again. Don't quote me on it. It could be different. So our offensive line and our defensive line are going to have a lot of new faces getting some opportunities to do something maybe they haven't done before.
Yeah, I know that, we had Cale Walker and Liam Rasmussen. Those guys were out there doing a little bit.
Yes.
I don't know if they started. I can't remember. It was 365 days ago. Right. And then same thing with Connor Vogt. Like, I'm pretty sure they were on it. And they were active participants during the varsity games, but I don't know if they were starters.
Right.
So yeah, we're definitely young, and if we go looking at our starting positions, I mean, I'm not coach, I don't really know, but our quarterback, we're talking about
Adam Wilson.
yes, Adam is he's a junior now, so he's had a lot of time to build and progress and get a little bit more knowledge.
And those viewers from, last year, you probably remember Blake Elliott. He was our starting quarterback the last 2 seasons. He obviously graduated and turns the reins of the offense over to Adam Wilson. And Adam did get out on the field some last year as in varsity action. But today is going to be his first start as a varsity quarterback.
Yeah. And then, we put a guy in the backfield with him. I think you're probably going to see Jaden Gerleman start out there or Logan Bailey, one of the two.
Sure.
Starting in the backfield with him. Maybe Howard even runs them both back there in whatever format that is called.
I know that Gerleman also plays a huge role on our – hey, Katie. Yeah, we could use help, actually. Do you want Katie to run the scoreboard?
Sure.
Then you don't have to worry about it?
And then I don't have to feel like I'm reaching my neck out in front. Yeah.
Sure. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop off and let Coach Dave continue talking to you guys here, and I'm going to teach one of my TV studio students that was able to come out today. Katie, you can see her on screen. Wave, Katie.
It's an easy job, Katie.
Yes. She's going to run the scoreboard for us. So I'm going to pop off for just a second.
All right, guys. So if we keep talking about the lineup of our Dutchmen, right? So we talked about our 2 backfields. We talked about our quarterback. Well, now let's go out to the wide receivers. So we got a wide range of wide receivers. You can probably almost guarantee that Zayden Gates is going to be out there lined up. He did a lot of lining up on the outside last year. And then one of our other guys is going to be Chase Crosby. Chase is only a sophomore, but last year he was lining up on the outside as a freshman and going up and snagging great passes, and he was also doing a great job on the defensive side. But we're talking quite a bit here about the offense. Outside of that, there are a bunch of different playmakers here that could pop up. One person that's always possible is Ricky Marquez. You never know what Ricky's going to do. If he's healthy, that guy is an athlete, and he can just go and go and go. So I'm going to look through this list. Steve Buttermeyer, he might make some action there. I'm not sure. Steve is listed as a wide receiver and a defensive back. He's another one of those guys that's a 3-sport athlete and is always trying to get better and better and better. I'm just looking down the list. After that, Landon Loesch is an athlete. Haven't seen him play football before, so I'm excited to see that. I hope he gets in and shows me something, because we tried to recruit him for cross country because he's a hurdler during track season. We tried, but he decided to choose the football route, and more power to him. That's an exciting thing for him. So our linemen, we'll give you guys a heads up whenever we get to the actual linemen, and we'll tell you everybody we see. So on our side, our head football coach is Dustin Howard, and then we talked about our assistant coaches, right? We have Scott Lewis and Steve Benton, Stephen Kemp, Jarrett Payne, and Brandon Howard. All right, so each one of these guys plays a pivotal role, a certain spot. We have offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, then we have a receivers coach, running back coach, right? We've got all those pieces of the puzzle, and our guys do a great job. And we do have potential therapy here tonight, so throw a shout-out to potential therapy. They are our therapy, if there's any injuries, they're the ones taking care of us. We also have the ambulance on standby, so Owensville EMS, shout out to you guys, making sure our people are safe. And we're doing the national anthem here. That is our national anthem played over the intercom today because our band has the day off. I was really hoping that with a Saturday we'd get a lot bigger crowd here. Unfortunately, it looks like we have a whopping 5 students in the stands. I definitely thought we'd have more than that. But in today's day and age, our kids always have jobs. Everybody's got to have a job, and Saturday's pretty much the best day to work, right? So that's probably where most of our kids are.
Yes, and it is Labor Day weekend, so
That's true.
It's possible that people already had plans and things like that.
I know we had a kid on the cross-country team yesterday. He almost was going to take an unexcused absence because their family was going to the lake. They decided that it was a little bit more important to make sure you were at practice. You'll get to the lake when you do, but they left. They left last night. So that right there is 3 kids from our student section that could have been with us.
Right.
If it was a Friday night, they might be here. So we understand if you're not here, but if you are doing nothing on this Saturday, first off, it's a beautiful day outside, nice overcast, so you don't have that sun beating down on you. The temperature is perfect. The wind's blowing because it's Dutchmen Field, and the wind don't not blow here. Okay, follow that English.
Also, we'll take a second here. We want to give a shout-out to these referees because here is what has to go on behind the scenes to make something like this happen. Obviously, we had a game scheduled for last night. We had referees for last night's game, and obviously that wasn't able to work. A lot of those referees last night already had a game scheduled for today, so our athletic director, Coach Matt Johnson, he had to scramble to try to find some officials that would be able to make their way out to Owensville today to make this happen. And obviously, you see 5 guys out there that are doing the job. So, Coach, we talked a little bit about officials last night. I'll let you lead off the conversation first. What do you want to say about officials in the state of Missouri for not only football but all sports?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now there's a great need for it because there's not a lot of officials. And the majority of our officials right now that we have, I'm not trying to judge the age of these gentlemen out there, but they are not youthful chickens, right? They're a little bit older, and the vast majority of officials in the state of Missouri are all old, and they are ready to retire, and we need youth. So this doesn't just go for the parents. If you know a former athlete that, hey, they're in a community college, all they got to do is go get trained, and then they can start at a youth level, start doing some youth basketball, youth football, officiating, work their way up, get the experience that they need, and then now they can go out there and actually, get paid a little bit on a Friday night. Don't be nervous about it. You're going to be, you might be judged a little bit, but at the end of the day, you actually have more power than anybody else around here because you're controlling what happens. So, enjoy your time, but I think if you want to be an official, MSHA, MSHASAA.org has links to becoming an official for any sport, all sports, or NFHS.com or org, one of those two. It's the National Federation of High Schools, and they also have coaching platforms for training, for certification, for anything like that. And here in Owensville, we've had the same starter for track meets for the last, however long Coach Crow has been retired. And, one day he's eventually going to hang that up, and we need a new starter. And retired coaches, retired administrators, those people are great, but that word is still retired. And if we're always pulling retired people out, that's really not going to be the answer. We need to get youthful people out. So the biggest thing they say to recruit is high school athletes that are no longer competing in high school or going to college to compete. So, OHS TV studio. Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's see. What else were we talking about? The officiating. We also have our chain gang. Let's give some shout out to our chain gang today. These guys are typically here on Friday night. One of them's one of my old classmates, Derek Greenlow. He's out there. Typically his dad's out there as well. And here come the Dutchmen. Here they go. Leading us out is Connor Vogt. That's a perfect guy to carry that flag. And he might rip the flag off the pole on night 1.
As you can see, they're pretty hyped up, Coach.
Yeah, they
love to see that excitement from our student athletes here at Owensville.
For sure. Okay, so there are definitely more people here than I thought. They just weren't out yet. They were making the tunnel. Looks like we got a lot of elementary and a lot of middle school. Still looking for that high school population to come on out. Hey, come on, guys. Let's go.
If you can hear the music over we don't have a outdoor mic set up right now, so I think their walkout song is "Wherever I May Roam" by Metallica this year, which is a change up. They had the same few songs for the past few seasons.
I'll be honest, I really like that entrance with the
siren.
Yeah, loved it, dude.
Yes, they were. And as you see on screen right now, our camera from the eye in the sky on top of our press box is zoomed in. That is our head football coach here in Owensville, Dustin Howard. What can you say about Coach Howard for us here, Coach?
Very, very. I'm trying to describe him in one word, and that's probably a tough thing to do. That guy is dedicated to any craft he becomes a part of. I think you might have said this before, but like you have an addictive personality. Like once you get started on something, you definitely, you see it through. There's no quit. He has that exact same personality. If that guy starts a goal and sets a goal, he's going to see it through all the way to the end. It doesn't matter if it makes his feet blister or, his knee swell up, 3 times bigger than it is. Like that guy is going to do it. And his passion for what he sets out to do, it doesn't matter if it's in the classroom, out of the classroom, doesn't matter. He's going to see it through. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the word, if I was to put one word on it, I'd put passionate.
Yes.
I think he's very passionate about not only this football team, but he's also very passionate about our school and our community. So we're lucky to have him here, and he's got a great group of coaches helping him out too. We'll go through his assistant coaches real quick. You got Scott Lewis, Stephen Benton, Stephen Kemp, Jarrett Payne, Brandon Howard, and one that's not listed on this sheet here. And I know he works more with maybe the middle schoolers, but that would be Gabe Sos. He graduated a couple years ago, so we're very lucky to have him too. Coach, it looks like we're about to have the captain's walkout. I'm going to try to do my best to get these. I think on the left there, that's Logan Bailey, 25.
Yep.
Number 52 for us.
Big Tim.
Big Timmy Winterbauer. And then just to the right of him is Jaden Gerleman, number 45. And then I think on the far end there is going to be Zayden Gates.
Yes, sir.
So you got 4 seniors that are going to walk out there to be our captains on this first game of the season. As you see all the Dutchmen on the sideline here. Our eye in the sky, he is looking around for stuff. You can see, I'll pop over in just a second if he stays there. You can see our quarterback warming up there with our sophomore wide receiver. And I think you can make the case that Chase Crosby might be one of the most athletic kids on the entire team and maybe in the entire school, Coach.
Yeah, that guy figured out in 1 week how to high jump, and he actually ended up taking second place at districts with, I want to say it was like a 6-inch PR. He went from like a 5'8" to 6'2" or something like that. But
he's going to be an athlete to watch in Owensville for a lot of years to come.
Yes, absolutely. I can't wait to see him grow and mature. He has the Crosby last name, which means he's got the Crosby genetics. And growing up, watching those guys compete on the Friday Night Lights as a guy sitting up here in the band, I was like always impressed with them.
Yes, and it wasn't just football as well. I know that Connor Crosby, that we both went to school with, played a lot of basketball, was a good basketball player. I believe Chase's dad, Brent, I think he was an All-State punter. I think he's on the board in our All-State area for All-State punter. So obviously some definite athleticism in that family, and he's going to be a name that I would imagine that we call several times tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They're offense and defense. Like the way our team is built, those guys are going two-way a lot, and Chase is one of those kids that has, his engine is always up and running like full bore, full tilt all the time. Absolutely,
and we can't quite as our eye in the sky here is zooming in on some of the Park Hills players. I want to give a quick shout out too. We're up to 86 viewers here, so I'm going to assume that a decent chunk of those are probably from Park Hills.
Wow.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and obviously with the game getting rescheduled from last night, I imagine it was a conflict with some schedules, especially with it being Labor Day weekend. We're going to do the best that we can to provide the most fair broadcast we can. Understand, though, that we are from the school. Coach Dave and I are teachers at the school, so we're going to know a lot more insight and things about the players here from Owensville. But we absolutely will give credit where credit is due, and I guess we'll mention it one more time here as our viewer count is climbing. The Dutchmen are getting ready to take the field against a former state champion team here.
Yeah.
In their first game of the following season. So absolutely an exciting moment for them.
Yeah, there's a lot that can be said here. They could be walking in with a chip on their shoulder saying, we have to back up what we did last year. Our boys could walk in with a chip on their shoulder saying, hey, we got to make a statement. I already said earlier in this broadcast, I think, no matter what, this is a win-win game for the Dutchmen because you're going against the state champs from last year. So if they beat you, you learn from it, and you learn what the former state champs did. And if you beat them, then you're making a statement because you just beat the state champs. In my opinion, that's the way you got to handle adversity. You got to be able to take some type of learning from every single experience.
And I apologize if you see our camera pop out like that. I'm not sure what's going on. It might be a cable issue. Hopefully we don't have to battle that the entire game.
Now, Katie, you'll probably be goose-knucking like I am a lot because you'll want to keep your eyes on that scoreboard as much as you can.
So with the
but if you're not perfect, hey, nobody's asking you to be perfect. We're just asking you to try hard. And Zayden Gates with the open. He's got a running lane. Oh, and he's pushed out at the 45, 35.
The Dutchmen return the opening kickoff all the way to the 30-yard line. Or no, it was about the 35, I'd say.
35, 37.
So you can stop the clock there, Katie.
Looks like he spotted it at the 37. He had one guy to beat, and it looked like that might have been the kicker, and the kicker was able to just take that angle away.
Coach, I'm going to pop up. I think the camera that's up there, I'm going to have to switch cameras.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's see that camera that's in front of you. You got the reins on this thing.
Yep.
I'm just going to leave it on this view for right now, guys.
Okay. So we've got the exact lineup we thought we would, and it looks like a 22. Ricky Marquez, that was the one I thought we might be putting on the outside, and we got him outside left. Or, sorry, not outside, but in the slot. And Logan Bailey with a run. Katie, if I get in your way, just tell me. It's just really hard to see through all this metal, for both of us. They need to give us a bigger press box. That's what they need. Hey, Mr. Johnson, can we get an expansion here? I'm just kidding. We can't do that. All right, 2nd and 1 for the Dutchmen. Let's see what we got going on here. Put a man in motion. Trying to run it up the gut there. Just enough to get the first down. Logan Bailey picks up a Dutchman first down for us. So Coach Lewis is our offensive coordinator calling the plays in. It looks like Adam is walking back over. Play at a time here. Still single back. Quarterback keeper, it's snuffed out, and it looks like a 1 or a 2 yard drop. Tackle for loss. Going to bring in Jaden Gerleman. I'm going to get a fresh set of legs in here. You break the huddle. We come empty back. It's like we're running Chase Crosby almost here as we move Jaden into the backfield. Jaden takes the handoff. He finds a gap, but 49 gets his hands on him. 49 from the Park Hills. Let's see who that is. Jackson Jones, no doubt. Anybody who's just tuning in, we have done a lot of looking at the highlights of Central Park Hills players and their awards from last year. And Jackson Jones was the one that I was like, that guy is going to be dangerous this year. I think you guys graduated Cannon Harlow and your quarterback, for some reason his name's slipping my mind. But, when you lose big players like that, somebody's stepping up, and I assumed it would be Jackson. We got a single back set. Oh, we got an offsides there. Dutchman moved early, I hope. Not, but it sounds like it is. Central Park Hills points towards us. And that should be 5 back. Offsides, false start, 5 yards. So now the Dutchmen are faced with a 3rd and 14. 3rd and 14 from the 30-yard line. Adams calling the play in, 16 on the play clock. So that was just a little bit of a flinch by the offensive lineman. We got a single set back. Ricky on the outside, Zayden on the outside. We got Crosby open down the field, but he gets tangled up. The turf monster came out, I think.
Absolutely, no.
He got a flag?
Yeah, he got hit. They threw a
hold?
flag on the field. I believe this is going to be a pass interference here on the Rebels would be my guess, but we'll wait for the call.
I'm going to let you use that side of the field.
Yeah, it's going to be on the Rebels. Pass interference on the Rebels. So it's going to be an automatic first down for the Dutchmen, I believe.
Which is good because we were faced with 3rd and 14. Now, it did look like he was past the sticks, that he would have been able to catch that ball, would have been a first down. But sometimes it's better to be given a gift than to have to, throw the ball.
All right. Let's see here.
I need one of those periscopes that you could use.
All right, it looks like the Dutchman got 2 split out left. Adam takes the snap. He looks back, and he throws it up over the middle, and dangerous. Oh, my goodness. It was almost picked off by a Park Hills player, but was dropped. I got a little better angle right here than you do, Coach.
Well, I see a lot of orange, man, and it's called a beam. Yeah, and I don't know. There's no real way to.
In here,
yeah,
gentlemen.
I made a plea for Coach Johnson to build this to get us an expansion, for me and you at least.
All right, so the Dutchmen are going to be faced with a 2nd and 10 here on about the 16-yard line as they are knocking on the door trying to get their first score of this season. 2nd and 10, yep. Adam takes the snap. He is going to be wrapped up in the backfield. He has absolutely no place to go, and it is going to put the Dutchmen in a 3rd down position. As I was up on the roof, I heard them talking. Last year we had Iceberg, our kicker. This year they said that our foreign exchange student Lex Mosler, I believe he's our kicker now.
Okay. For a moment there, we had another foreign exchange student. I think his name is Max. I don't have any foreign exchange students in my classes this year, but they had said they were trying to get one of them to come out and play football. And I said, why? Did he play soccer? And they go, oh, yeah, he's got a leg on him. And I was like, oh.
Pass is incomplete on an attempt to 26 Chase Crosby. It's going to leave the Dutchman with a 4th down, and they have a decision here. Are they going to try to kick a field goal? I don't know what the distance of Lex's leg is. I don't know what we have to.
Oh, that's Lex. Okay.
Yeah, Lex. Yes.
Okay, not Max. Okay.
And it looks as though the Dutchmen are going to line up to go for it here. It's about a 4th and 13, and big spot early in the game. Obviously, if you can get a score, that's huge. But I'll give you a couple different camera angles here.
And I think it's
going to be a running play on 4th and 13. Logan Bailey is going to get stuck at the 15-yard line as the Dutchmen are going to turn it over on downs.
And that was a square hit there by that Park Hills guy.
Yes, he did. I wish I would have.
One thing
11.
One thing I noticed, so 11 from Park Hills is Karis Foster. He's a sophomore.
Big hit from a sophomore, laying it on a senior guy there. So
I'm not sure what ATH stands for on the offense, but if that means athlete, then I'd agree.
Yeah.
It was a good hit.
Our cameraman, I also want to give the viewers here just a little bit of discretion. Our camera people on top are not our normal TV studio crew, so bear with us with the cameras today. With it being on a Saturday, we weren't able to get everybody out. So
so something I noticed there about our drive,
ball is snapped, and it's going to be a running play on 1st down from Park Hill or Central. It looks like they're going to pick up about 6 yards to make it a 2nd and 4. So this is our first opportunity to see the Central offense here, Coach.
Yeah, Jackson Jones had some big plays on defense there that stopped us up. That's number 49 out there. He had quite a few good tackles. He is their quarterback, so I'm waiting to see what his legs are going to do.
Yeah, I think he looks like a very, very good athlete for them. It's going to be a running play again, and he's going to get almost to the 1st down, so it's going to be about a 3rd and 1 here coming up for the Central Rebels. Looks like their main running back so far here is Karis Foster, I guess. I guess that's the
Okay.
guy that made that big hit.
Yeah. So they got two really good athletes
Or
there,
maybe
those two that we've
maybe
seen.
I misspoke. It looks like Karis is lined up on the outside.
Okay.
Or maybe he did run the ball last time because there's nobody in the backfield this time. We'll see. To be determined. They're going to definitely pick that one up and a whole lot more as they are able to fight out to the Rebel 35-yard line.
Is that a quarterback keeper?
Yep. Jackson Jones kept it himself, took care of business to get the first Rebel first down of the season as they reconvene here.
All right, so we're getting back to a spot where I can see a little bit. Yeah, their offensive size.
It's going to be another QB keeper. This time he's got nowhere to go. The Dutchmen bottle him up, but, I say they bottle him up. It still looks like he might have fallen forward for a yard or two, Coach.
Yeah, Tim Winnebauer. Tim Winnebauer is on the line, number 52. When I see Timmy, the first thought is not lineman, but right there he was able to use his speed and his agility to get around a bigger lineman and get into that backfield before Jackson Jones was able to make a move forward.
Also, I want to say thanks to everybody that's tuned in here. It's not TXM asked what number does Lex Mosler have? Well, let me get that answer for you here real quick.
We'll race.
As
And number
they play-
11 gets an outside pass, and number 11 is Karis Foster again.
Lex Mosler is number 23, so not TXM. Lex Mosler is number 23. And that might be, I'd be interested to know, Conrad and not TXM, are you guys overseas right now? I think Lex is from, oh man, I'm going to feel bad if I'm incorrect on this, but I think he's from Germany. I know he speaks German, but he's in my accounting class. I'm Lex's accounting teacher, so awesome to have him in class. Thunderclips, thanks for broadcasting this and everyone involved watching from 1,000 miles away. Yeah, no problem. We appreciate you tuning in, and feel free to pop in the chat, guys. We appreciate people who help give us more to talk about here. Looks like there's going to be 5:47 left on the clock.
We got a timeout here, I think by the Dutchmen. I'm not 100% sure, but one thing I noticed about our offensive scheme that we had going down, we ran the ball early, and then when we got towards the goal, we did a little bit more passing. Now, I'm not a football coach. We were moving the ball pretty good running, so I'm curious if Lewis was just trying some things out, seeing what would happen, testing out, Adam's arm, seeing if he's going to be able to punch that thing in. We're going to get another opportunity, and I think if our boys just keep marching like they did, I think we got a good shot at going.
Next, I'll say here, shout out, yeah, Coach. We had 160 plus viewers at one point, so
Wow.
You guys are helping make this the largest viewership we've ever had on a broadcast. And I kind of had a feeling it would be that way with the reschedule. But thank you for everybody for joining us, and we've never had somebody join us from Germany before, so you guys are his friends from Germany. Well, we appreciate Lex. He's done a great job here at OHS so far. Like I said, I got him in accounting right now. Really, really enjoying getting to know him. So
It's something our foreign exchange students always really like to do. They're all interested in American football. Like,
they are, yes.
it's just such a hot topic. It's really
Ball is snapped, number 49, throws
wide
it
open
out
to 31.
about the 50-yard line. It's going to be a completion, and it'll be a first down on third down there for the Rebels as they move the ball to midfield, and they are now approaching Dutchman territory.
As a pass completed to Barrett Henson, a senior on offense listed as an athlete again, ATH.
All right, so as you can see, they've got the ball marked up there right at the 50-yard line, and the Central Rebels are going to take it from there with a first down.
All right, the wide receiver on this side just looks like a giant.
It's going to be a running play,
Way to go,
and they're going to bottle them up. That
Let's
play is
go.
getting nowhere. So good push from the Owensville defensive line.
Who was there first? Is that our number 50?
I'm going to mute myself for a second because I want to talk to Katie. I think I might send her up.
Okay. All right, folks, so I couldn't hear who it was, but the crowd went wild. If it was number 50, that was Caden Mooney. I thought I saw a 5, but I could be completely wrong. If I'm missing whoever made that tackle, guys, watching this back, I apologize.
Really shouldn't
So it looks like there are trips left, and we've got a timeout by the Central Rebels. I don't know if the coach liked what he saw. He's walking out there making sure, hey, we better get this right, boys. So that interesting enough, we got 2 timeouts in probably about 5 plays. So we've got a chess match going out here. Well, you guys aren't interested. For those of us that are coming back and watching this, our bleachers are getting a little bit more full as we go. You know, students might be waking up a little bit. You know, they can't wake up before 10 o'clock on a Saturday, right? That's at least what my wife tells me. You can't wake up any earlier than that.
All right, I am back with you here.
They have some big boys on their line, my friend. 79 Hayden Carver, 5'11", 240. Dude, you look taller than that. You look like a monster out there. So the Rebels line is pretty big.
Coach, I am going to go ahead and give you the scoring again here as
Okay.
they complete a pass here to about the 48. I'm going to take care of the video cams, and we've got a TV studio student going up and taking care of one of the cameras to help us out here.
Tell me what you need.
Lots of so it looks like it is. So, Coach, this is the downs and the yard to go.
Yeah, I just had to find my mouse.
There you go.
I can't see anything, though.
Looks like you got 3rd and 1. That's not right. It's 3rd and about 8.
Okay.
3rd and 8 on the field right now. This camera is now going to be done by a TV studio student, so I think it'll be a little bit easier to watch here. Quarterback drops back, throws out to his right.
Oh, come on.
Dutchmen are there to bottle it up in the backfield.
Let's go, number 5. Who we got? Steve Buttermeyer.
Steve Buttermeyer, an all-state qualifier in wrestling for here at Owensville, bottles up the Central receiver. And at this point, is Central going to punt? They're at midfield with a 4th and 11, or do they go for it?
You're going
This is
for it?
A strategy time for Central. What are they going to do here? So
What do you see our time at
definitely-
right now? Is it
definitely-
5?
Definitely going for it. It is 3:23 in the first quarter.
So our clock is wrong, folks. We are getting it right. We'll get it
And
right.
they are dropping back to punt, and it's going to be a pretty decent punt.
Oh, it touched the Dutchman. That touched the Dutchman, number
Did it?
31.
I guess we're about to find out.
Who is 31?
No, they're going to say it didn't touch a Dutchman.
Really?
We
We might have just
got
caught
away
the
with
grace
one
of
there?
wind or something.
So on – oh, no, now they're changing it. Now they're saying it is staying with Central.
Make
is
your
the-
mind up,
what is the call
officials.
here?
Come on now, buddies.
From up here, Coach Dave saw it as hitting a Dutchman player, and
He made the
I
call.
think you're correct. I think one of the officials picked up on that. So on a punt, first game of the year, I'm assuming that is definitely not what Coach Howard wanted to see. Just getting
sorry.
ready to get the ball back and send his offense out there, and then we made the mistake of having the ball bounce off one of us. So not a good play by the Dutchman there. But Jackson Smith, as their quarterback, steps back. He's going to take it himself right up the middle, and he's got a little bit of room to run. He's a little shifty and also very powerful, pushing through the pile there. He's able to gain almost a first down. Looks like he got about 8 or 9.
Yeah, this is where you're looking at it like saying, hey, we need to keep banging on that guy and keep hitting him, because if you let a quarterback like that run, now he's got the running game open, and then here comes the passing game. So gang tackle, but gang hit. You got to put you got to pop whenever you're making those hits.
Yeah, if the quarterback is going to run, you got to make him feel it. He's the guy that's touching the ball every single play. Go back to this. For some reason, what's happening here?
Oh, and another big tackle by Steve Budmeyer. Way to go, Steve-O. I like Steven's closing speed. You can tell he's going for that double leg takedown every single time. I do think you might not think it's
All right, I gotta
translating.
pop back up on it.
Okay. But I think personally that is some wrestling skills popping out. His closing speed and his ability to take that single or double leg pick and just go to town, there's got to be something that talks about his wrestling. So we got 3 guys in the backfield now for Central Park Hills. They get a sweep going around the edge, and the Dutchmen are able to wrap him up pretty well with maybe a minimal gain of a yard. Not sure who made that call out, but Jaden Gerleman, way to penetrate. Looks like we might have a little bit of a cramp going on with Tim Winnebauer. I hope that's all it is. So, again, we got potential therapy out here today. Ethan Jors, another one of my former classmates, now is working at potential therapy, and he is going to see to Tim's. Hopefully it's just a calf cramp. That's what it looks like to me.
While we're having this injury here, I'm going to run through some of our chat here. We've got a lot of people popping in the chat, and we really appreciate you all. Coach Lay, Kevin Lay, Thunderclips is Kevin Lay. Coach Lay, thanks for tuning in with us this afternoon. We appreciate having you here. Nancy Greenwald, thank you for showing this. Our grandson is number 88, Rodney Greenwald. Not sure if he will play, but he is in uniform. He is a freshman at Central. Well, Nancy, we're glad that you're tuned in with us, and we hope that Rodney has a great season with the Rebels. Next, Nancy, we hosted an exchange student from Germany back in the 80s. Yeah, the foreign exchange student program here in the United States is absolutely awesome.
Owensville almost always picks up 3 or 4 kids every single year. We have great relationships with Germany. Germany is actually one of our sisters.
From Germany, yeah.
Yeah, we have a sister town. So Timmy is up and walking off the field, so that is a good sign.
Yeah, well, the foreign exchange student program as a teacher is so fantastic because these students come into your classroom and they have totally different ideas and are able to share a whole different perspective with everybody, which is absolutely awesome. Thankful for that. Coach Lay,
we went through
Tyler
those sizes.
Dave, can you give a little insight to the size comparison between the teams, between the linemen maybe? I can't tell from the screen. So, Coach, before the game started, we went through the rosters here and their heights and weights.
They're 200 plus across their line.
Their line is definitely, they have a size advantage over the Dutchmen for sure on their line. They have a bigger players than what we do, so that would be the size comparison. We'll come back to these comments here in just a second. Thank you guys. Keep them coming. We'll hit those in between plays. As the Rebels are on 4th down here with about 5 to go. Lined up in the backfield is Jackson Jones, and he's got a wide open wide receiver.
Oh, couldn't pop him out.
So it's a completed pass. He is going to get. He's going to take a shot on that catch from number 26 from us, which is Chase Crosby, but he was left wide open. He was missed there in the secondary. So going to give the Rebels a first down, and I think we're at goal now. So we're first and goal with about 8 yards to go.
Guys, I will try to keep our...
Yeah, just understand, guys, the scoreboard might be a little bit off, but we're doing the best we can. That play looks like it doesn't go anywhere, so the Dutchmen are got them at about a second down with on the 8 yard to go for a touchdown. So second and goal from the 8. Back to the question, the comments here. Cranial Nerve Entertainment, Central Rebels fan watching from Des Moines, Iowa. The video stream looks great. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you so much for covering the game. Hey, thank you so much, and thank you for tuning in from Iowa.
Quarterback keeper straight up the gut again.
Going to be about 3rd down. And what did they get to, the 2 or the 3 there, Coach?
Yeah, it looks like it. They're inching.
So far, what I'm seeing here, 49, that Jackson Jones, he plays an extremely integral part of their offense.
Yeah.
He's as much a running back as whoever their running back is. And we're going to be going into the second quarter here, ladies and gentlemen, as that was the bell for the second quarter with the score 0-0. So we've got a ball game here, Coach. And if I'm thinking of Coach Howard, the Dutchman head football coach, he couldn't ask for too much more. Obviously, the botched punt by us will change the aspect of this drive for sure. But being right in the game with a defending state champion, as they were Class 3 state champions last year. This is a big bonus, I think, for our Dutchman players.
And you haven't seen any massive blowout plays. Like last year, we did a great job of containment, and then we'd let a big pass play happen to us, and we'd have to chase that thing down, and then we caught them, and then 3 plays later they're in the end zone. Right now, maybe it's the way Central is playing, maybe it's the way our defense is playing, but either way, Central is doing a lot more ground and pound. Maybe they're trying to use their size and keep their linemen fresh by, only having them go after, what's the time, 10 or 12? Nah, I put it at 8.
Also, I just popped up the Central Park Hills schedule and results from last year. If you're just joining us, we've had a lot of people join throughout, so I want to keep people updated. Shout out to Park Hills; they were the Class 3 state champions last year. So, this is their first game back after their championship run. So, super exciting for them. We're gonna take the schedules off here real quick as we are getting ready to resume action here. They've got about a 3rd and 3, it looks like, Coach.
3rd and 3.
All right, he's under center at this point. He's going to step back. He's going to hand the ball off, and he's up the middle, and that's going to be the first score of the game. It's going to be a touchdown by number 11, which is the guy that laid the big hit earlier. That's Karis Foster. So 5'10", 165-pound athlete is what the roster lists him as. He's an athlete on offense, so he does a little bit of wide receiver, running back, and from what I'm seeing here is it looks like, are they kicking this or are they going for it?
I'm going to say they're going for it. Why not? When you have that size advantage on the line, I mean.
You should get the push.
Oh, it's a high snap. You better get down, boy. Come on. Wrap him up.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so.
There we go.
Really, so if that play happens on 3rd down, the previous play, this whole drive might look a lot different. But luckily for Park Hills, that happened on the extra point attempt. So they still get their touchdown, 6 points on the board, and that's going to be the first score of the game. So congratulations to Karis Foster. You're going to be the first scorer for the Central Rebels this year after winning state last year. So very, very exciting. The Dutchmen are going to try to regroup here. You see Coach Howard there talking to the orange and black, and Jared Payne also in a headset there. And let's go ahead and hit the comments again real quick. Tanya Montgomery watching from Kentucky. My grandson is number 70, Wyatt Shaw. So we've got Germany, we've got Iowa, we've got Kentucky, we've got Coach Lay down in Florida. Man, this broadcast is extending all over the place. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Locust, who do we have on camera? We have, we started off with some football managers or some football players that were not able to dress out today on camera on top. And now we also have Katie Lloyd, TV studio student, up there. Next, Nancy Greenwald. Rodney's grandpa is in the hospital, but he is watching once again. Thank you for streaming the game. That is one of the things that these broadcasts, the thing that means the most to me is, especially for the elderly that are not able to make it out, getting to see their grandchildren play or their kids play. I think, that's probably the most special thing about these things. So we're doing the best that we can. We hope that you guys enjoy the stream, and for anybody that's getting to watch, who normally doesn't get to watch, hope you guys enjoy. Central gets set off to kick off here to the Dutchmen, and it looks like it's going to be a shorter kick.
That'll go out of bounds.
It's going to go out of bounds, which will be a flag, and it'll take it up to the 40-yard line for the Dutchmen to start their next drive.
That'll be great field position. We'll take it.
I believe it's the 40 in high school. I know in the NFL, if you kick it off on the kickoff, it's going to take you to the 40, but let's see where the officials spot the ball here. Looks like they are running it out to – they're going to re-kick it. So I assume –
declined?
The Dutchmen are going to decline this. Also, the Dutchmen ran the opening kickoff back to the Rebel 35-yard line. So maybe the strategy here for the Dutchmen is that have a better chance of scoring on a kickoff, or a kickoff is going to be a good opportunity for us to maybe score. I don't know, but scoot them back a little bit and do a re-kick.
Well, and if you look at their special teams, their special team size is definitely a lot smaller than their linemen on defense or offense. So I think Coach Howard might have the right idea.
It's going to be a short one, and it also squibs out of bounds, and it went out of bounds at about the 32.
Now, did that one take some time off the clock?
Well, the clock is still at 11:54 here, so I don't think you have to change it, Coach.
Okay. I guess it's as soon as an offensive player touches it, we'll start that clock. But so we're going to back it up again?
Yeah,
now, correct me if I'm wrong, but, okay, if you take a penalty or decline the penalty and it backs up 5, then our next time of going out of bounds, wouldn't that move the penalty thing up further?
Yeah, so now they started off, the first kickoff here was from the 40, kicked it out of bounds, and the next kickoff was from the 35, kicking it out of bounds again. So now this kickoff is from the 30. And the Dutchmen, the two guys deep back for the Dutchmen are number 26, Chase Crosby, and I believe the other one is Zayden Gates.
Yes.
So 2 of the Dutchman skill players are our returners, and maybe Park Hills doesn't want to deal with those 2 guys getting the ball in their hands. I don't really know.
In front of them, we also have our third receiver, Ricky Marquez, and I believe Jaden Gerleman on the other side. So
we got good hands guys back
Yes.
there. So we'll see what they do here. They line up to kick off. This one looks like it's just going to be a little squib, maybe an onside attempt. It doesn't even get back to midfield, so the Dutchmen are actually starting this drive in Rebel territory on the 47-yard line.
like that.
Which, I don't know, Coach. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss for just a second, because the opening kickoff of the game, we took it to the 35.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're comparing this kickoff to last kickoff, we're not as far down in their territory as we were. So maybe that's what Coach wanted.
I think it goes back
sure.
to the size of their defensive line and the size of their offensive line versus special teams. You looked at the special teams lineup; those guys looked like they were buck 80 at best.
Okay, so snap is back. It's going to be a quick pass out to number 22 for the Dutchmen, which would have been the play that we saw Tanner Meyer run a lot last year.
Good Ricky Marquez move right there.
Yeah, I remember. Shout out to Tanner Meyer. He's at Trine University this year. He might be tuned in watching the game, but he had a great career as a Dutchman football player. And last year, Ricky Marquez, you just made a play that we saw Tanner Meyer do a lot last year.
Yeah, and it worked a lot last year too. So
Don't fix it if it ain't broken.
Yeah, for sure. So I like this power look setup we got going on. I'm not sure what position we would call this here on the far left side. That's putting Crosby in the swing.
All right, looks like it's going to be a running play to Jaden Gerleman, senior. He's going to pick up maybe 2 yards, maybe 1 yard.
Yeah.
He's going to move it to 3rd and 2 as the Dutchmen try to pick up another first down to keep this drive moving forward.
So I found it interesting so far. We got Crosby, who's a outside receiver, but he's been lining up in the, I guess you'd still call it backfield, but like on the edge of the line.
Yeah, I think he's playing more of like a slot role, Coach.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for them to just bust him out and some defensive player not be covering him. Because when that happens, you're going to get burned.
All right, the Dutchmen are down. They take the snap. Adam Wilson's going to keep it himself. He's got a little room to the outside. He's going to get that first down, and he is still going. Gets tripped up by the ankles. He looks like he had a lot of green in front of him, but is able to pick up the first down and much more as the Dutchmen move down deeper into Rebel territory, and it looks like it's going to be about the 25-yard line. Also, here's something that I would like to bring up again, as our viewer count has actually exceeded how much fits on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. We almost hit 200 a moment ago. We were up to 190-something. But something we've touched on earlier in the broadcast, and we're going to continue touching on, is the fact that, this Rebel team, they did go win the state Class 3 championship last year, but we also know that they graduated a lot of seniors, too. So they come with a lot of experience, but they also have some guys that maybe don't have experience because this is their first year back. Or first year getting to start behind the seniors that graduated last year.
We're going to put a man in motion again. Get ready.
Looks like we have a timeout on the field or a penalty.
The play clock hadn't started yet.
It's going to be a delay of game on
that's
the
what it
Dutchmen.
was.
So I guess the Dutchmen didn't get to the line quickly enough. So
Can you tell me what our clock is?
yeah, our clock is at 9 minutes and 53 seconds, Coach.
Okay.
It's going to make it a 1st and 15 for the Dutchmen, which, if you come into this game and you're the underdog, which I would say is completely fair to say for the Dutchmen, I believe Max Preps has Park Hills ranked 16 in the state right now or something like that for Class 3. Give me a break. I might be a little bit off on that. But Dutchmen were definitely the underdogs coming into this game. Now we have another stoppage. I'm not really sure.
Maybe blood. Maybe they tried to sub in instead of, and you're not allowed to on a.
It's a good question. I'm not sure, Coach.
He is going back with their
goodness.
trainers, so.
Maybe it was an injury. But he's on his feet. He looks, is that number 40?
40, it looks like 40, just 40 straight up.
40? He does look fine, though, so for any viewers at home,
Max Woods, maybe?
Max Woods, he does look fine, maybe just getting checked out a little bit.
Looks
here.
like they're looking at his knee. There might be some blood on his knee from a bang-bang play.
Oh, no, a bad snap or a bad...
Get up, Adam.
Might
Make it
need to
work,
just
buddy.
Chuck that out of bounds, Adam. Don't take the... Oh, boy. He's got somebody down.
Oh. Ricky Marquez was in there, and he was barely covered, barely open at the same time.
Man, that was a broken play from the start, but it looked like Adam did the best he could to make the best out of it. But back to what I was talking about earlier, I know that Park Hills comes in after that state championship. They do have a lot of players that maybe are in different roles this year than what they were last year, so they're still trying to figure it out too. I know that our guys, I don't know if you had heard them at school this week, they were saying STS.
STS.
In my class, at least they were. They were saying shock the state because they felt like they were the underdog in this game. So
I think, with most people, big run by
good job
Logan
by
Bailey.
Logan Bailey. Looked like he was going to be bottled up in the backfield there and was able to squeeze a few yards out of it by falling forward. Going to make it about a 3rd and 12 for the Dutchmen.
Yeah, I think anytime you're playing against, in high school, if you're playing against somebody that is a returning state champ, there's always pressure on them to repeat and pressure on you to go compete against them. And I think that, in today's society, we put a lot more pressure on these kids than they really need. Like, just go give your best and see what happens.
Absolutely. First game of the year, also trying to figure some things out.
Is that wide open? Oh, if we had a second, we had Chase Crosby wide open.
Oh, we got a helmet popped off there. Looked like a linebacker. Try to zoom in here a little bit. Number 18's helmet popped off there. Might have to tighten that chin strap a little bit. Adam Wilson was looking downfield, and he ended up deciding just to tuck it himself and run. He had a linebacker that was there keyed on him from the Rebels, doing exactly what he was supposed to do. And Adam, charged forward, was able to get 5-ish yards on the play. It's going to make it a Dutchman 4th and about 6.
If he was a left-handed person, he would have had Crosby streaking right through the middle, uncovered, ready to go. But with him scrambling out to the right, it just didn't work out.
All right, on 4th down, it looks like we're going to get another whistle. What do we have here?
We have 4 seconds on the play clock, so the timeout
Timeout
by the Dutchman.
Yeah, timeout Dutchman. So while we're in this timeout, I'll take a second to hop back over to the chat. It looks like Nora Jean Miles, that's where I left off. Watching from Kentucky, my grandson is cameraman Granite. Nora, Granite was with us last night. He was not able to be with us today, unfortunately. With a reschedule, just didn't work out. But Grant has done a great job helping TV Studio in the past. We're happy you're tuned in here, Nora.
Jamie, you've got good family genes there. He is a beast.
Yeah, Jamie Martin, let's go Central. My nephew is number 49 on the Central Rebels, watching from Denver, Colorado. Man, we are all over the place. Yeah, number 49 for the Central Rebels is the starting quarterback, Jackson Jones. And he's looked fantastic this game. He does a lot of the offense seems to run through Jackson, and he seems to do a good job at leading that offense out there. Throws the ball pretty well and is able to take the ball, tuck it, and run, Coach.
Yes, absolutely. He has looked really good. I see Bigger City down there. Welcome back, my friend.
Glad
you
Bigger
could make
City,
it.
you were with us last night. Thanks for tuning back in. Tanya Montgomery, yes, thank you so much. You guys are doing a great job. I will be able to be in Owensville October 11th to watch the Dutchmen play. Well, we will be happy to welcome you to Dutchman Field here as the Dutchmen are looking to get back under center. No, they're in the shotgun with about a 4th and 6 or 7 deep in the Rebel territory. Adams is going to wind up the throw deep down to number 2, Zayden Gates. And he comes down with it. That's going to be the first Dutchman touchdown of the season. And they are fired up, ladies and gentlemen.
That thing floated for an hour.
Absolutely. And Zayden, he's got a bit of a height advantage. He's a big, tall guy, pulls down the first Dutchman touchdown of the season. Zayden Gates from Adam Wilson.
That was a nice, what was that, about a 23-yard bomb coming in. That was
something like that. Holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen. The Dutchmen have just tied the ball game at 6 here as they go for, looks like going to be the extra point. Our friends from Germany, ladies and gentlemen, that is none other than the Lex Mosler getting ready to try to kick the extra point for the Dutchman on his first extra point attempt of the season.
Hey, this is just kicking another ball at practice, baby. Let's go.
Let's get it, Lex.
Smooth snap, smooth place. Oh, and it's up and over. Oh, and it's Let's go.
Lex Mosler puts the Dutchman ahead with a kick that squeaks right over the goalpost
That
to
hit
make it
somebody's head,
7-6. Dutchman. It looked like he got tipped at the line, Coach,
Okay.
and then it double jointed at the goalpost and squeaked over. You know, I've been watching high school football for a long time. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
That might be a first, man. Woo! Dang.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a ball game here at Dutchman Field on a Saturday morning as the Dutchmen have just taken the lead by a score of 7-6 with 7:42 left to go in the second quarter. And, Coach, I want to take a second here. I'm just going to point out some things that are factual. I want to say that Park Hills Central fans watching from home might be pointing out the fact that their boys have been put through the ringer in the last 12 hours. Game was supposed to happen last night at 7 o'clock. Waited around in a lightning and rain delay until about 9 o'clock until the game was called. They had to drive all the way back to Park Hills last night at 9 o'clock and then be able to get up in the morning to be here by, I think they were here by 9 or 9:30.
Right.
So
Hour and a half out typically is when these guys get there, yeah.
Park Hills players definitely have to be coming in a little bit tired today. And I'm not out here trying to make excuses for anybody. I'm just pointing out things that are factual. That has to be factual.
You know, one thing we talk about a lot during cross country is control the controllables. And unfortunately,
they've been dealt a lot of uncontrollables.
Yeah. You can't do much about it. I mean, hopefully these boys were able to ride home with their parents and get some nap time in a car. If not, you were probably on a sweaty bus. 84, I've been watching this guy practice for Owensville. 84, that is Andrew Budnick. So we got another Budnick the boot going on.
Boy, it looks like a big return here. Looks like Park Hills might get it all back here on this return.
That boy is fast. 23.
And I don't see a single flag on the field. The Park Hills fans are fired up. The Park Hills team is fired up as they answer back immediately. It looked like a pretty good kick. It just was the coverage was not there from the Dutchmen. So that's
black.
Definitely going to be something to look back on in practice this week, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that was number 23, August Black, a freshman.
Holy smokes.
5'9", 160 pounds.
Coach, can you imagine being a freshman playing your first high school football game after all that's happened and this one already?
There it is.
And you return back a kickoff.
Oh, that one hurts my heart for our boys, but shoot.
What was it? You said August Black?
August Black.
Shout out to August Black on an absolutely, probably a memory that kid will hold forever.
Yeah, dang.
All right, it looks like Central is going to line up to go for two again as they now have the lead 12-7. They weren't able to get the first one. Number 31 for the Dutchmen is on coverage, but it doesn't matter. Number 11, who scored the first touchdown, Karis Foster, is able to make that play and that catch. I think, Coach, that's probably why they have him listed as athlete.
Yeah. Yeah, that there was like a back corner placement, like perfect, and he just said, hey, you go get it because you're going to be able to out-jump the Dutchman. I don't know who was on defense for us there. Not that it matters. It was just, I was looking.
All right, so now after the quick score by the Rebels, the score is 14-7, and we've seen some interesting kickoffs from the Rebels here so far. The first one was returned a pretty good bit by the Dutchmen to the 35.
Yeah, Zayden Gates with a great one.
The second kickoff that they attempted, they kicked two out of bounds before they ended up basically doing like an onside squib type deal, which made it the Dutchmen got it at like the 49. So the Dutchmen have started each of their drives so far in Rebel territory. I'm going to head over to the comments so far and see what we have. Deborah McDaniel, Mason McDaniel's grandparents are in the house supporting Owensville. Thanks for stopping in, Deborah. A couple people pumped up for Lex. Laura Jadats, Lex, my man. Conrad, let's go. Lex the GOAT. Absolutely awesome to see our foreign exchange students get to come over and be a part of something as well. Made a big extra point there. Probably the most interesting extra point I've ever seen made, Coach.
Mm-hmm. And we've had a lot of interesting extra points. I mean, back whenever we were in school, we had two girl kickers. That was a first in history for Missouri whenever we were able to make the championship.
Stephanie Chapman and Brooke Atkinson.
Absolutely.
This one's going to be another little squigger. Oh, boy. Oh, we got it. It's all over the place.
Jump on the ball. Thank you, Zayden Gates. Woo!
All right, now every single kickoff so far, ladies and gentlemen.
It's been crazy.
Has been very, very interesting. We've had a kick returned. We've had a kickoff that had two go out of bounds before a squib. We've had a kickoff return to the 35, and now we just had one that pinballed off about 4 or 5 Dutchman players as we have an injury on the field here.
Looks like we got a cramp again, Zayden Gates. So the question is, how much are these boys hydrating overnight? Like, come on, boys.
Hopefully able to walk this one off. And that's not Zayden. That's Chase Crosby.
That's Crosby?
26.
Okay.
So I'm going to zoom off of that real quick. We hope that Crosby gets to feeling better here on the field. Obviously a key part of the Dutchman football team. But, yeah, you're right. And he's able to walk that off. He looks just fine come off field. You're probably right there, Coach. A cramp, I would imagine. And, being a cross-country coach, both of us up here right now are cross-country coaches. I coach middle school cross, former baseball coach, and then Coach Dave here is a high school cross-country and a high school track coach. What can you tell us about cramps, Coach?
Well, I tell you that stretching is important and hydrating and making sure as much as we talk about electrolytes, like getting the right nutrition so that you have the right balance of, the makeup. That's really important. And on a night like last night where you might not have gotten dinner until 9 or 10 o'clock, maybe you get home and you just want to go to bed, you probably needed to hydrate and you didn't even think about it.
Right, and it's an easy thing to miss it on as a high school athlete because your head's so many different places. The ball snaps. It's going to be a quick out pass, number 31 for the Dutchmen. Looks like going to pick up maybe a yard. 31 for the Dutchmen is going to be that's Connor Wellman. Connor Wellman with his first catch of the season. So shout out to Connor on his first catch. We have a comment here, and that's from TL Outside. The Rebels lost more than half of their players from last year.
That's what we noticed.
We knew that they graduated a ton. So as we're talking to the viewers here, the Rebels are coming in with probably little sleep, but also this is a new squad for them too. So, they come back as state champions. I'm sure a lot of these players got that experience last year as the ball snapped here, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit of an end around here to Chase Crosby, who recovered from the cramp rather quickly. Looks like he gets past the 30, maybe to the 31 for the Dutchman. Going to make it about a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, we went on your guys' Facebook page for your football team, and we were able to see all the awards you guys were able to collect at the end of the season last year. And what I noticed was that a lot of them, especially looking at max preps and stuff like that, you guys have outstanding yardages, and they were from a lot of the seniors. So, I think there was somebody getting almost 2,000 yards of either passing or rushing or something like that. It was like 1,700, I think. But he was a senior last year. So, yeah, you guys are definitely looking at a younger squad, a new squad, and that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid. Adam Wilson scrambles, but right up the gut, and I bet number 49 was right there.
We do see a yellow hanky out on the field, so it'll be interesting to see what the flag is. It's kind of in the area of holding, or maybe if Adam was taken down by a face mask. I'm going to be honest, I don't actually know. It is a face mask on the defense, so that's going to be enough to give the Dutchman a first down. Based on where that flag was thrown, I thought it was either going to be an offensive hold or maybe because Adam was right there, maybe he got pulled down by his face mask, and that's what ended up happening.
There were 3 guys there with their hands on him, so it's easy to get your hand accidentally wrapped up, and you just go to grab that jersey and your fingers clip that face mask. And I say that from all the experience I've had playing football.
Right, not TX. Okay. All right, first down and 10. Dutchmen are going to have the ball at their own 47, so we're just about into Rebel territory here as we get going. Ball is going to be snapped, and we are in a shotgun formation. Ball is snapped. It's going to be a running play to Logan Bailey. Logan Bailey plunges ahead for about 2 yards. He's going to get to he's going to be just shy of the 50, Coach.
Yeah, well, let's get back across that line. And TL Outside, yes, Joe Bryant was one of the names. Cannon Harlow, Joe Bryant, Caleb something, maybe Caleb something. I think your guys' quarterback from last year, maybe. Yes, fantastic players, linemen, running back, defensive back, like you guys
That's what it takes to win a state championship.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen by accident. You got a great team, great players, great coaches. I think the closest that we've ever been was when we were in high school, and we were not on that team. We were cross-country runners. It was 2006. I would have been a freshman. You would have been a sophomore.
I believe, yes.
Yeah, and we went and we got second in the state. We lost to, help me out, name of that town.
Was it Harrisonville?
Harrisonville, that's right.
And we had, our line looked the way your guys' line did last year. We had big boys.
Oh, yeah.
The senior class, when I was a sophomore, I was afraid of them. And
yeah, we that team was led by quarterback Nathan Cooper for the Dutchmen, and he went on to play at Campbellsville University down in, I want to say it was like Arkansas, but I think he went on to have a very good career there and I think he holds most of the passing records at Campbellsville. The wide receiver on that team that made the offense go with Nathan was Matt Angel, and he went on to play at Lindenwood University.
I remember
had a great career.
I remember sitting in pre-calc class with Matt when he was a senior, and he had 2 tennis balls every day in class. And I was like, dude, that's not going to help you with math. He's like, it's going to help me in receiving. And he just squeeze those tennis balls and get his hands stronger and stronger and stronger. And I was always like,
that's very interesting.
I was amazed at that commitment to his craft. And he was a great basketball player. He was a track athlete. Yep.
He was just an athlete, man. All right, ball snap to Adam Wilson. He's going to roll out to his right. He's going to try to find number 2, Zayden Gates. He pulls it in. He's got some room to run. He is going to be pushed out of bounds at about the Rebel 25. I've got to give hats off to the Rebels or Dutchman listeners here. We have a new quarterback in Owensville. number 7, Adam Wilson. This is his first year taking over the offense. He is a junior, and I've been impressed with his arm so far, Coach.
Yeah,
He's
you know.
taking chances?
Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say. He's not afraid. He's not afraid to throw that ball up, throw it out there. And that one there, I mean, it was in a slightly tight spot, but you could trust your receiver like Zayden Gates that he's going to go get that ball away from the offense.
All right, Adam Wilson under center again. We got a man in motion. That's Chase Crosby. The ball is snapped. He hands it off to Logan Bailey, who's got some room on the outside.
Come on, break that
Tries
tackle.
to lay a stiff arm.
I think we might have another face mask coming for us here.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. It might be on us.
Don't say that.
We're gonna have to wait and see here. I'm not really sure.
Central, I'm not trying to be a Tony Romo. We're from Owensville, so we're trying not to pick sides. But
I know that Logan extended his arm going for a stiff arm, so I definitely saw that. But then the question is, it is against the Rebels. So you're right, Coach. That was very bang bang. It was challenging for me to see what happened there.
yeah, so we do try to play an impartial role here while we are supportive of the Dutchmen, and we're going to support them probably more like 75-25. I won't give a true breakdown on percent, but
We do the best we can.
yeah, we will give you guys your love and your flowers.
We are certainly amateurs. All right. You see Adam, he's under center there. The ball is snapped. It is going to be, oh my goodness. That ball is underneath a lineman for the Rebels. If the lineman had arms on his back, he would have had that. At one point, he was quite literally laying on the ball. Just a fumbled handoff there, really. That's just an early season jitters deal. Jump back to the chat here. Quarterback was Kaysen Murphy. He's now a pitcher at Louisville now. Jake, I was the head Dutchman baseball coach for a couple years here, so I'm a baseball nerd myself. And, you see a lot of quarterbacks that also are fantastic pitchers. So, that combo there doesn't surprise me entirely. And it's cool to hear he went the pitching route. He went the college baseball route, so shout out to him.
And graduating 12 seniors. That's huge.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. All right, ball is handed off to Jaden Gerleman. He's going to turn it upfield. He's a very north-south runner. Gets almost back to the line of scrimmage for the Dutchman, but that's going to make it third and I'm going to say about 10. We got probably 10 and a half, 11. So we almost got back to the line of scrimmage. Nancy Greenwald, from what I was told, the Rebels graduated 10 seniors from last year. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a ton. Especially if they were all integral parts of offense and defense. So.
Right, yeah. If you had 12 bench players, that's a different story, but
right.
That's not what you guys had. We know. We saw it.
You don't go to state with 12 seniors that are bench players. All right. Ball snapped. Adam rolls out to his right, which seems to be the most common place he rolls out. He's going to take another chance here. And he comes down with it. The Dutchman score again. Chase Crosby with his first score of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dutchmen are back on the board, making the score 13-14, which you know what time it is. Time for Lex Mosler to come out and try to tie this ball game up. We had a very exciting extra point attempt on the last one as the Dutchmen are going to line up to put another one on there. Our friends from Germany, you can see your guy. Lex Mosler on the screen there, number 23, getting ready to try to kick a field goal. Number 2, Zayden Gates appears to be the placeholder. So let's see. Let's see how this one goes.
That's what we did last year with Tanner. We had our surefire hands getting that snap so we can make sure we get it down. Ooh.
That one is not going to be good. That one was never really got off the ground, I think. Snap wasn't down super quick.
And that's something. How much do you really have time to practice with that guy, with that line, with him kicking?
Coach, here's what you see in high school football a lot, too. It's such a technical play.
Yes.
And if you really don't have a kicker, which we've been fortunate to have a couple foreign exchange students that are good kickers, but if you don't really have a good kicker, then a lot of high school teams don't even go for it.
Right.
They're just going to go for the 2 every time.
Yep.
And gamble every time. So the missed extra point leaves the Dutchmen down by a point, 14-13 here. Man, we've gotten to call a very exciting game here so far.
Yeah, I'm liking what I see. Let's, we have Budnick the boot, another boot out there to probably kick it off again. Coach Kemp, he's got our special teams dialed up, so he's going to be harping right now, hey, coverage. We got to get the coverage locked down. Nobody gets free here.
And here's something that I'm going to point out. The offense for the Rebels and the defense for the Dutchmen have to be extremely rested. If they're not playing both sides of the ball, they have to be extremely rested because they haven't been on the field in a long time.
Right.
Because the last kickoff, if you were with us, the Rebels returned the last kickoff. That's how they scored their second touchdown. It was by a freshman, nonetheless. I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Black. Here comes the kick. August Black, that's right. This one's going to be a squib onside, and the Dutchmen are going to have it go out of bounds. So I guess we'll see here what the Rebels do.
Yeah.
See what they choose to do.
We're going to play this cat and mouse game.
When this happened last time, whenever the Rebels kicked out of bounds, we made them re-kick. So based on what we're seeing right now on the field, I'm guessing that they're going to make us re-kick.
And okay, so here on their receiving end of special teams, they have bigger boys out there, unless this is their offense coming out, which I think it is their offense coming out.
So we're not re-kicking. They're going to take it, I guess, from which it went out really. I mean, they're getting it
45,
at
48.
45. That's a pretty good place to get it. However, last time they did return it, so I don't know. A couple more comments here, and they're pretty good ones. Let's see. Most entertaining football game I've listened to. Y'all are doing great. Thank you, Anthony Quinton. We appreciate it. This is our second year calling games, so we have a little bit of experience. As far as running the actual broadcast, it's our second year doing that too, and we're always trying to get better. So we appreciate Anthony. Looks like we're going to have a change of a ball here. Next comment
Oh, they
here.
left the kicking ball in.
Live viewers ain't working. Yeah, we've never had the reason why is because usually we have in the tens of viewers, not in the hundreds of viewers. So at halftime, I'm going to try to fix that. So I'll try to get that fixed. Next, Road to Racer. That's my buddy. That's the drummer in the band that I'm in. We got a gig tonight in Union, Missouri. He says, viewers, make sure you're watching in HD. Click the gear icon, then set the quality to 1080. TV Studio has set up with super clear image. Yes, thank you for getting that out to our viewers, Casey. And that's got to be something that I guess we
Good
do a
wrap
better
up
job.
there by who but the Budnick. No, apologies. The Buttermeyer. That's what I meant to say. It was a B, and it just came out.
Karis Foster with another catch. That's the player listed as athlete for Central. And, yeah, so Road to Racer, he made a good comment there. If you haven't hit the little gear icon on the bottom right, please do and turn it to 1080p so you can see the broadcast in full quality that we're able to stream
Close him.
here. Oh, he breaks the tackle, and he's going to have a lot of room to run here before he gets hit by number 26, Chase Crosby, but that's not until about the 30-ish yard line. Looks like they're going to spot him at the 32. So a big gain by the Park Hill Rebels there. I guess I need to change the scoreboard to Central as well because it seems like most people are calling them Central.
You want to type it?
Sure, I'll type it. Central.
All right.
So you'll see that update there on our scoreboard. So, all right. Got the zoomed in version here. We'll zoom back out.
Tackle.
All right, that's going to be a great play on first down for the Rebels. They're going to get a good chunk of that 10 yards they need already as they got, 6, Coach?
Yeah, that's what it looks. That's what it looks. That quarterback keeper, I mean, you can basically do anything you want with Jackson and just let him do.
Jackson, he's listed at 6 foot tall, but he also looks like he's got a low center of gravity.
Yes, he's got quads. I mean, he reminds me of Saquon.
Yeah, he's a big quarterback for sure. Hard to take down. He's going to plunge forward for a few more yards, and it's going to get real close to that first down. It's going to be third and one. Let's see here. Robbie Holtz, Central went for 2 every time last year, didn't have a kicker.
It looks like they're doing it again this year.
Yeah, it seems like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But it makes sense. I mean, if you can't
especially
kick,
if you don't have a kicker, you should definitely go for 2 in high school.
yeah, if your odds are worse than 50% on your kicking, then why not go for the 2-point that's going to statistically make it up? 31 gets the handoff in the back.
Big room to the left side. We have a flag on the field, so it's in the area of either holding or face mask again is what I'm going to say. Looks like a holding penalty against the Rebels this time, so it's going to take it back to third down. It's going to move them 10 yards back from where the play ended up. So it's going to be, I'm going to guess, like 3rd and 5 maybe.
I'm glad you knew that part. I was just going to add 15 on.
Well, I think it's a spot foul.
Okay.
I think it's from the spot of the hold. So if it was downfield a little bit and the ball had reached there.
So it'll be like 3rd and 8?
It's going to be about 3rd and 5. So it looks like they got about 5 yard. Nope, you're right, about 3rd and 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not. My eyes did not.
Hey, it's deceptive out there. There's a whole bunch of little hash marks.
And I had the camera on our sideline. It looks like our guys up top had the camera looking at Coach Howard as he looks like he just called a timeout. Very good. So
3rd and 7 with 1:51 left in the second quarter. 3rd and
It
6.
looks like
That's what they
Jake
got them.
Barton is helping us out here a little bit. He said the name of the school is Central, but everyone calls them Park Hills, so they're used to it. But technically, Park Hills is not the school name. Okay, so Central. Okay, that makes sense. So
our school
Central
district
is in Park Hills.
Right. Our school district is called Gasconade County R2. You call us Owensville, even though we have people from everywhere around. So, hey, we get you, man.
Sure. Okay.
Or good old St. James, they're called John F. Hodges.
Really?
Back in the day, that's
I
what
would
they
not
were
have
always
known that.
listed as.
Yeah, and the only thing I know about Park Hills is I drive a school bus too, and a couple years ago our girls wrestling team wrestled there at Park Hills, and I don't know if you've ever been to their basketball gym. It is super cool. Their basketball gymnasium is awesome. I really enjoyed going down to Park Hills. It is a long drive though. I drove the bus, so I know what you guys went through last night and this morning getting here. So
We did marching band competitions at Park Hills.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that was, yes, a long day.
it is a long day. That is for sure.
All right, so we are back at it.
3rd and about 8 here for Central. And now we have another flag. I'm guessing this time, based on the reaction of the Dutchman coach, it's going to be a false start on the Rebels, and that is what it is. So now the Rebels are looking at about a 4th and 12? Or
3rd and 11 or 4th and
third.
8?
Yeah, sorry, they didn't lose down. They just lose yardage, so my apologies. PA announcer here calls it 12. Looks like it's 12 and a half to me.
Although we just had it a minute ago, it was 3rd down and 11, or 3rd down and a 6. So we had it 6 yards instead of a 5 yard. No, it's okay.
It's like 12 and a half.
I'm being facetious. I think that's the right word for it. As a math teacher, I can say that, right?
All right, 3rd and 12 here as Central looks to move the ball down the field. A quarterback.
And we're out at him, but he's wide
It's a
open.
screen play, and he does well. I don't know. He got very, very close to that pile or that yard
You
marker
can see
down there.
Derek drop that.
Regardless, they're going to go for it on 4th down if it is a 4th down. It looks a little bit short. We're looking at 4th and half a yard here, guys. That's where it looks like they're moving that down to. So it's basically going to take a big Dutchman stop here. But I'm going to here's my bet here. I'm betting
11?
that the Central coach is calling up a Jackson Jones right up the middle.
I was going to give it to.
And that's exactly what they did. And he gets to about the 20, and that's going to be a 1st down. Good for a 1st down. Get the chains moving. Central is going to be dealing with about a 1st down from the Dutchman 20-yard line. So,
All right, let's see if I'm up. I'm pretty good on time. We're a little bit ahead, but we're right about a minute and a half left in the 2nd quarter. Puts number 21 in motion. That's Colin Hulsey. Now he sits him up in the backfield.
ball snap. Quarterback drops back. We got a whistle.
I think there was a little movement on that line, if you ask my opinion, but I don't know.
It's going to be false start on the Rebels there, so it's going to be a 1st and 15. I'm going to go back to the comments here a little bit. Thank you guys for tuning in with us, and thank you for commenting. We really appreciate it. And holy smokes, 269 viewers. You guys are blowing our previous record completely out of the water.
Was that graduation? Was that our old record?
Our old record was like 130 with graduation, so this is quite a large viewership that we have right
We'll start moving our games to all Saturdays.
We'll call for lightning on Fridays so we can have games on Saturdays. All right, ball snap. Quarterback, he's got the ball up. He's going to throw deep, and he's got an interception by Zayden Gates in the back of the end zone for the Dutchman. That's going to be a touchback, and Zayden Gates is one of our top receivers playing either safety or corner for us, is able to snag that one. Also, while we're in this shot, you see that we added those bleachers out there behind the goalpost. That's going to be our middle school seating section for anybody watching. That's new this year. We've never had that before. So the middle school seating section, they got a great view of that one, Coach.
And that was an interesting play call there to go. You're 1st and 15. You had plenty of time. The running game has worked. Maybe you thought that you were going to get the Dutchman to keep biting in since you were 15.
The only thing that I will say to defend the play call, playing devil's advocate here, is we do only have a minute left in the 2nd quarter. So
take your shots.
Maybe the thought was take the shot, and then if it's an incompletion, then no big deal.
Yeah.
And honestly, even with the interception, the Dutchman got a long way to go.
That ball was a pretty pass, too. I was tight spiral.
Tight spiral. We got to give it that.
You give.
Ball is going to be a reverse.
We missed the one block. Oh, we missed the one block.
Needed that block to spring it. Crosby's going to run out of bounds to stop the clock at 54 seconds. And it looks like the Dutchmen are not going to get a first down on it. It's going to be about 2nd and 1
Yeah, that's what
on the 29. So still have an incredibly long amount of distance to go here on the field. So we will see.
Yeah, that was one block away from being wide open.
All right.
I'm going to put Ricky Marquez on far out. We got Zayden in probably the slot maybe. See if we throw Chase in motion.
All right, ball is snapped. It's going to be a little swing pass out to Zayden Gates, the guy who just intercepted the ball. He's got some room, makes a play.
Pop out, get out of bounds,
Would have been great to get out of bounds there, but was unable to get out of bounds. Takes it to about the 44. I'm going to guess we called a timeout, and that's how or maybe they
reset on first down? I don't know.
Or stop the clock.
Nope.
What do we got?
Here
Timeout. Yeah, timeout by the Dutchmen. That's what's going to stop the clock. The clock is at 44.8. Dutchmen have the ball on their own 44-yard line, so they still got 56 yards to go in 44 seconds. So
I like the passing game we got going on. We're getting chunks. I mean, if you go 10 yards every time, we got 5 plays in us. Can we get that in 45? Absolutely.
And ladies and gentlemen, when we get to the halftime show, we don't have a band performance tonight. So the more comments that you can give us, the more it's going to supply us to talk with. And you guys are doing a great job so far here. Let's see here. Jay Barton, the name of school central, already did that. TL outside. It used to be Mineral Area College Gymnasium a long time ago. That makes sense. That's why that gym is so cool. Dane, I don't see Brody, Bryce, or Hayden. I don't know who you're speaking in reference to there, Dane. Crystal Kaufman, we do have the best high school gymnasium, but it helps that the high school was a junior college before it was a high school. That's really cool. I had no idea. I did not know that.
I didn't realize that Mineral Area moved. I guess they wanted a little bit bigger space for themselves, and they found that land to be able to build their new campus. I don't know. I don't think you guys are super close to Mineral Area now, are you?
I know. I think it is really close. Somebody pop in the chat and let us know on that. Not sure. All right, Dutchmen are... Oh, we got another flag. I'm going to bet this one's on the offense. Somebody jumped. Yep, that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. So already have a very tough task here in 44 seconds to make it down the field, and we just made it a little bit tougher.
Yeah, so we do know that they're in the same general area. I know, we've gone to cross-country meets down at Mineral Area College for a Saturday meet in September, and that was a long drive.
All right, the ball is snapped. Adam is going to look to throw. He's going to his not his right this time. He's going to throw a floater, man. That one is picked by the – oh, no, it was not. Holy smokes. He almost grabbed it. That's the guy they listed as athlete. Man, number 11, Karis – he's everywhere. It is Karis Foster. He very nearly got that interception.
He was trying to make a play and say, you got to try to convince the ref a little bit. But number 49, he says, hey, we don't want those officials not with us. So Jackson Jones pulled him away real quick.
It does look like the officials have gathered here to chat for a second to see what's going on here. They're calling incompletion.
Right.
It looked like he had it for a second, but then a Dutchman player maybe hit it out of his hand. I guess they're saying he didn't have possession for long enough. That would be my guess.
Right.
But it was definitely close for sure. It was a very athletic play, I would say, by Karis Foster. I'm just going to try to remember that name. Karis Foster, sophomore. He's all over the place.
Yeah, if we go NFL, that thing's getting reviewed, and we're not sure what's happening there.
Yeah. At first, I thought it was intercepted, personally.
I did too.
But the ball did come out. So if anything, he wasn't down when the ball came out.
We're getting a timeout by Central.
So here's my assessment. If anything, the ball would have been a fumble.
Right.
And then it should have still been live, but because the official whistle blew, I don't even know how you call that at that point.
Right. Yeah, because you're
It's almost
basically
like-
taking the fumble away or taking any type of the play away.
Yeah, it's almost like they would have rather had not blown the whistle, let it play out a little bit, and then discuss it after what they thought actually happened. But it might have been interception, fumble, whistle blown, no clue what happened, or it might have just been never had possession of it for long enough and it was popped out. I'm looking at the comments here. 296 viewers for a moment from Road to Racer. Yeah, that was that was the peak for sure. We're at 200 now, so that's still pretty impressive. We had no idea what to expect coming into this, but we appreciate everybody that's joined us, and we hope that you guys have enjoyed the experience, and we've provided at least decent commentary so far.
You guys are 3.5 miles away. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so and then the next couple people, they let us know that it is close to Mineral Area. It's just on the other side of Park Hills from the high school. We're just a few miles from Mineral Area College now, 3.5 miles across town.
Okay, so it was a little bit of a relocation, but not massive
We
across.
ran this end around quite a lot here to Chase, and Chase looks like he's going to pick up, I'm going to say 7. He gets 7 yards out of the play. But we're also at a point where the clock is running. There is a hanky on the field again, so the play clock is going to stop. It's 22.6 seconds right now. What's your call here? If you're the Dutchman coach, are you launching up something just to try to make a play, or do you not want to do that for fear of interception and take him back to the
What
house?
I've been seeing Adam throw is those balls they go up and hang. They hang a lot.
There's going to be a face mask on the Rebels, and that's actually going to give the Dutchmen a first down and get them into Rebel territory. I will say that so far as penalties have gone, it feels like the Dutchmen have been the benefactor more often than they've lost out on the penalties.
Yeah.
So we are now inside the 40 of the Rebels with about 22 seconds left. So ball is snapped. Adams going to throw a quick out to number 2, Zayden Gates. He's got some room.
Come
and
on.
he's got one guy to miss.
He's out of bounds,
get out of
though.
bounds.
Let's go.
He does get out of bounds. He gets another first down. He's at about the Rebel 23. And there's 10.6 seconds left on the clock. So 10.6 seconds. You're on the 23.
2 shots.
Honestly, I feel like you take a shot to the end zone.
Yeah, you have to.
I mean, that's really I guess in the NFL, and that's NFL and college is what we most have to compare this to. In the NFL, I don't know how many timeouts that we're at. I don't really know. Timeouts left are 0, so there's no timeouts left. No timeouts. You got 2 shots in the NFL. You might only have 1 shot in high school. I don't know how long it's going to take this play to develop.
And Central Park Hills calls a timeout there.
They're out. That's interesting. Our crowd is yelling that Central is out of timeouts, but the scoreboard does say out, but that's dependent on whether or not the scoreboard is accurate. I believe if you call for timeout and you actually don't have a timeout, it is a penalty. It's like a delay of game, I think.
Yeah. So how does
Either our scoreboard operators were incorrect or they really were out of timeouts.
you can see
I don't know
the
answer to
white
that.
cap has something out that he's looking at.
Yeah, I'm sure they have something that the officials like mark or something.
Right. I don't know
Based on what I'm seeing here, I'm not seeing the officials motion that there's a delay of game, so I'm going to guess that our scoreboard operators were off.
And if you're at that point, okay, if it's a delay of game and that's only a 5-yard penalty, is that worth it? Like knowing that we're now at the 17 instead of the 23, does that make a difference to you?
Yeah, from a strategic standpoint, if you really needed to talk to your guys, I don't know. Maybe you call it if you don't have it. I don't know.
If they don't give you the timeout and they just say no, that's a delay of game, that'd be something different. But
yeah, that's interesting. I don't know the answer to that one, Coach.
neither do I. I got a cross country rule book. I don't have a football one.
All right, ball snap. He rolls out to his left this time. He doesn't have a lot of time. He's getting chased. He's going to go down. That's going to end the half because we don't have any timeouts. And that clock is going to run.
Unless they'll just give us one
And
extra,
nope.
too. I don't know.
That's going to be how the first half ends. So,
This is a great game.
ladies and gentlemen, we do have a great game here. Holy smokes, on a Saturday, we got a 14-13 game. As you see, the players take off from the field. Coach, I'm going to run up to the top of the press box and chat with our guys up there that are on camera. Give them a break. Let them know that they can get off there, and we'll just chat and fill the time here. So
yeah, I'll fill a couple minutes while you do that real quick.
Yep.
So we've got 250 viewers. Guys, first off, we are super thankful for every one of you tuning in for us. This is awesome. As much as we know that it's because you probably can't be here, we also know that we want to provide you this opportunity to be able to watch, and that's really what we're doing this for. Me and Coach T, we are completely, like every single time, we are blessed and privileged to be able to do this. We are teachers. I'm a math teacher. He's a business teacher, and we have, absolutely bought into this community. We both went here, graduated in 2009, 2010, and now we are back, and all we want to do is just give back. So we're trying to give back the best we can, and if these kids can watch these games and enjoy our completely candid commentary about how excited we are about things and stuff like that, gosh, that's what we're doing it for. I will tell you right now, it does look like the officials are talking to some of the coaches about how many timeouts we had. I can only imagine that that's the conversation we got going on here or something. They're all pointing in a direction. We can only be speculative up here in the booth. We don't really know anything, but they are having conversations. So, we are having so much fun up here, and we'll continue to do this as long as we're able to. Eventually, we will transition into having some more kids on the broadcast. Last year I was able to actually do a basketball broadcast with 2 kids while Mr. T worked the computer the whole time, and we had great conversations. We talked a lot about things going on in the school, and that's something else that we really enjoy doing. I like being able to talk about these kids and what they're doing in the class, and we didn't really get to that too much. And this is our first game in, so we're still working out the kinks and everything. They said start the halftime timer, but we're working out the kinks. So we're gonna, we'll talk more about the kids from Owensville. We won't be able to talk as much about the kids from other places because of us not knowing them. But this is a student athlete program. Educational based athletics means we're going to talk about what they do as people, not just what they do as performers out there. So we've got wonderful kids on our team that are completely involved here in Owensville and represent our community super well.
I am trying to figure out, viewer count. I'm going to add one of these just as we're playing around here at halftime, trying to figure out if this is working or not. Where did that go? Okay. So it was not working earlier. I'm just going to throw it down there in the corner. You're going to see that pop up on screen. So right now we're at 207 viewers. I'm not sure. I should have done more research or done more playing around with this before we got to this broadcast. But
to see why it would go away when we.
It's been a busy first year back.
It has, guys.
We teach here at the high school.
Yeah.
And, it's been busy, but this is our first broadcast of the season. Our broadcast will only get better as the season goes on. We do offer, live instant replays and whatnot, but I haven't even tried to go into that right now.
There's something about, once you've had a good season doing something like this, you kind of walk into that next season feeling good, like you know exactly what you're doing. Hey, we'll come into this thing.
Yeah, so you can see who is behind the mics here.
But you walk into something like this, and you're like, yeah, I remember what we did. I did this, this, and this. And then you get in here, and then there's 15 other things you remember, and you're like, oh, yeah, we need to do this.
Absolutely.
Our live broadcast with the instant replay during basketball season, it's fantastic. So,
it's a blast.
Sorry, Central.
Don't have that today.
Don't have it today, but we will get it for everybody else.
I want to take a couple seconds here, too, to talk about the TV studio program that we do have here at the high school, and especially for Central folks. If this is something that you're like, man, I wish our high school had something like this, and I have no idea. You guys can pop in chat. Let me know if Central does have something like this. We are complete amateurs here at the high school. I took over the TV studio program. This is my 4th year now, so we didn't have any live broadcasting until last year. And basically, it's just been, I've got a good buddy. You see him popping up in the chat, Road to Racer. He's helped me out a lot. He runs a very successful YouTube channel. But he's helped me out a lot with TV Studio, and we've basically just tried to grow it a little more each and every single year. It's something that I have a lot of fun doing, so it's something that I kind of nerd out about. But I've already had another school reach out to me on how to basically make this work. Obviously, we're balling on a bit of a budget here. We've been very fortunate to get some donations from community members to help us buy cameras, help us buy the computer that we're using to run this thing. But it's definitely very manageable. I would say in total what we have wrapped up in TV Studio, I was talking with Coach Dave about this last night, I would say it's about $10,000. So with some know-how and some money, you could actually make this happen for your school. And if anybody ever has questions or if this is something that people would want to start somewhere, please reach out. It makes me feel good to know that not only are we providing something that some people are enjoying, but if we could help some other school do that as well, I'd be more than happy to do so.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree. It's you get passionate people to do what they're doing. Like Mr. T is a wonderful person in the classroom and has leveled up our TV studio performance here at Owensville, and that just gets more kids involved. Even kids that some kids don't even want to be at a football game, but they come out because they get to work with the technology, and maybe they want to be a part of a social media type thing, and
it gives them a role.
Yes.
People are always looking for a role, a way to fit in, and TV Studio fits that for a lot of kids that maybe aren't in another role.
Right, absolutely. That's where I see it being super beneficial. I think that if you don't have it, there's so many easy ways of doing it. I mean, you could even if you just start out by doing some just filming, and then eventually you build that
and
camera.
That's what we started off
right
as. I mean, the first year, that's really all it was.
Absolutely.
I was literally I was fortunate. I'm in a local band called Barely Covered. We had a camera for our band, and I would literally just go out to the football game and film some stuff. And then, people start taking notice. Oh, these videos are pretty high quality. They're pretty cool. And then from there, it just spiraled into what it is now.
All right, can we do this? Okay, now can we do this? Yes.
And also, I want to take a second here to let you guys know that TV Studio is not just live broadcasting. This is not all that we do. If you pop over to our YouTube channel, which is what you're watching this off of right now, and we've been fortunate enough to gain another 10 subscribers today, but if you pop over to our YouTube channel, you're going to see that my students, they make videos of all kinds of things. And it goes from highlight videos to our sports, to things happening in our school, to our band, our choir, our FFA, literally everything that you can think of. We're making videos to try to support and promote it within our community. But one element that has really become one of my favorites is we run a short series every single year. Started 2 years ago with a student named Braden Kibler. He came to me with the idea. He said, Coach, what do you think about maybe doing a short series that's recurring throughout the school year in our monthly newscast? We put a monthly newscast out for our district. I said, you know what, I don't know anything about it, but if you're creative enough, sure, go for it. And holy smokes, it became very, very popular. And we have a short series. That student, he made a video with some of his classmates that had a concurrent storyline that followed throughout the whole school year. It was 7 episodes long. It was just over an hour long. So essentially what he made was a whole movie. And it really sparks that creative element in students. So in a typical TV studio class period, some students might be working on sports highlights. Some students might be working on creative short story, script writing, things like that. We do a live weekly newscast where we talk about stuff happening on a live weekly basis. So it's a lot of different stuff. So if I'm advocating for the TV studio program, if anybody is interested in that, we would absolutely love to be able to help other schools out with that. And I know that, we're what, a school of 500?
Yeah, 550, somewhere in there,
500, something like that. We know that other school districts that have much higher, you guys are good, go ahead and pop by.
You're just celebrities if you get seen.
We know that some other school districts that have, much bigger budgets, much more students, they already have something similar to this. It may be something that's, far and above what we're able to pull off. But I think even for, smaller school districts, it's definitely possible. And it's a growing field.
Yes,
I mean, this is something that's not going away. The technology part of this is not going away.
Yeah, I like to describe it kind of like it's like a yearbook class, but it's videos.
Sure.
And then it's live, like those pieces it's fantastic. If you don't have one, you need one.
Cindy Koppelmann, that's Coach Dave's mom here. She popped in and she said, I love Outbreak. We loved Outbreak, too. That was our short series last year. It was about a zombie outbreak that happened here at Owensville High School. Again, that one ended up being about an hour and 10 minutes long. Involved our staff, our students. It was a good time.
Hey, and we go back up to the Mineral Area College. Ken and Harlow, we see you, and we've mentioned you a couple times. You were a fantastic athlete for your guys' team last year. I understand the feeling. Like, I went and ran cross-country in college after cross-country and track in high school, and after I graduated and didn't get to play anymore or didn't get to run anymore, it was really tough. Now, luckily for me, cross-country is something that you can kind of do without – I don't need 11 other guys on the field to be able to play football, but – running on your own is a lot different than running with a team. So, it's something that you miss. But if you can go find, I don't know if you're in college or if you're just playing around, but
fill the void, man.
Yeah, find something that's fun. It's so easy to jump in and.
I can touch on that just a little bit. I have a little bit different experience than Coach Dave. I was a high school baseball player. Baseball was my biggest passion. Absolutely loved it. Loved it so much I came back to coach it. But when high school ended, it was like I had this gap. You can't just go play baseball by yourself. You have to actually have another person to play an actual game. Yeah. You got to have a lot of people. But I ended up eventually filling that gap with playing guitar. It was something I could work and practice towards. It gave me something to do, and it became a passion of mine. So, for sure, when you get out of high school, that is a tough transition, I would say. It doesn't matter what sport you play. It's tough for anybody. Yeah,
and that's with football, you kind of need a field. You need a space to throw. And in basketball, you need this.
Oh, you'll like this, Coach. It says Cannon is at Mizzou on a track scholarship.
Hey, there we go.
Dude, Dude, Mizzou, that's no joke. That's legit. Very cool.
Your name looked familiar earlier. What'd you do back in track season for Park Hill Central? Tell us that.
Throw that in chat real quick. I'm going to go back up here to some of the other ones.
Jake Barton, thank you for that. You might be right.
Sad about no band. We're really sad about that, too. Road to Razor, thank you. We're trying to do the best that we can. And thank you for all your help. These broadcasts are I owe a lot to Road to Racer, so he's helped me out a lot. Terry Bunton, you two and the other camera people are doing a great job. Thanks for the broadcast. Thanks for tuning in, Terry. We appreciate you. Mm-hmm. Jake Barton, I would assume the scoreboard operator may have taken a timeout for Central. What's up, Coach Fisher? timeout for Central inadvertently during an official's timeout.
Yeah, you're right. The water breaks. Yeah,
that would make
we didn't
sense.
think about that part.
So that's probably very reasonable. Tim Erkey, he's been a big supporter of TV Studio. And Tim, I was thinking about you last night. I went home, and after I got home, I finished watching the Cardinals baseball game. And then it really clicked in my head that you were in New York. You were in the Bronx. The Cardinals were playing in New York last night. So very cool. Yankee Stadium. I've gotten to take a tour of Yankee Stadium. Very cool stadium. I've never gotten to see a game there, so I am very, very jealous. Unfortunately, the Cardinals weren't able to pull out a win, but very cool that you got to go there for a game. I'm jealous.
Hey, Colin.
Thank you for supporting TV Studio. Colin, hi, Tyler and Dave. Colin is in a local band called Center Stage, and he is a singer for that band. Colin Fromsky has got a fantastic voice. Also a former member of the OHS Marching Magic Band. So, yes, Colin,
sir.
Thanks for tuning in. Cindy, you two are doing a great job. Thanks, Cindy.
Thanks, Mom.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Crystal Kaufman, yes, what Jake said. It's a new this season.
Oh, about the timeout or the water breaks.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You know, and that's always depending on heat acclimation and the wet bulb. We have those same regulations. We talked about that a little bit last night. Like with cross country, we had to take a certain number of minutes break in the hour that we practice. You know, Coach T with his middle schoolers had more restrictions because of their youthfulness and probably not the same level of heat acclimation as the high schoolers. You know, our football team, actually all of our fall sports moved their practices to the morning. And, you know, football was practicing at 6 a.m. Softball, my wife was at 6 a.m. Volleyball had mornings. Now they're inside, so they don't have to worry about the heat. But cross country, we had everybody but like 4 of our freshmen or younger kids that can't drive. We were practicing in the morning. So taking water breaks when you need them, absolutely. That's the first, you know, safety first, like no matter what. We got to be smart.
Even whenever the wet bulb allowed us to go outside,
yeah,
we had to take it in small chunks with those middle schoolers, man. We were out running the county road on I believe it was Thursday, and we shut it down after about 15 minutes. Let the kids, you know, jog. We also let them know, hey, like if you got to take a second to walk,
right.
I mean, you got to take a second to walk. It's crazy hot out here. But I can tell you right now, those kids were extremely excited to not be running into school.
Yeah.
Whether if you're running outside for 15 minutes in the blistering heat and able to take breaks, it's still better than running in a school. That's tough.
Yeah, and I've been talking with Ben Cooper at Eldon. He's their middle school cross coach, and you know we've been bouncing ideas back and forth on how to do it. And you know we talked like, you know, go outside for 10 minutes, come back inside the AC, rest for 5, maybe do something inside in the AC, and then go back out and try to get 10 more. Because, you know, it's hard to simulate anything, whether it be softball. Like, yeah, you can use the batting cages, but can you really practice any type of defensive fielding? Football,
Not well.
How are you going to do football at all, right? Like, I mean, you could sprint, you can throw the ball, you can catch, but, like, you don't have a gymnasium that's 53 yards wide. Like, that's not possible. So unless you are lucky enough to have, I mean, Eldon has a little bit of an indoor facility. You know, some other places have a little bit of indoor facilities that they're able to practice. Like, having a field house is great, but the number of schools in this area, not many have field houses. So
we make do with what we got, but
yeah,
safety is of the utmost importance, and that's what we're trying to take care of first. Let's keep going through here. Road to Racer, I love TV Studio because every walk of life can be involved and find interest. That's absolutely true, and one new thing that's this year is we have our Nintendo OHS studio, which is being worked on right now. We'll be doing a video game live stream channel with Nintendo games, and I know that the students are very excited.
I already started
that.
getting challenged.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not good.
It's going to be fun, but it's a real thing right now. I mean, that's something that's Road to Racer literally has a YouTube channel. He's from Owensville, graduated here with me, and he is able to draw an income off of that every single month because of the success of the channel, which is super cool. Moving on, John Gasca, that is Coach Lay's stepfather, I believe.
You're right. It's hard to believe that high schoolers wrote that and directed it and did all the editing and everything.
Yeah, so he said, I checked out the Breakout series. Hard to believe. High school students wrote, directed, and starred in a high-quality production. Wish we had the resources to do something like that for you. Dude, yes. I think about when I was in high school, which was only 15 years ago.
I might not be a math teacher right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been so interested in this. I can remember being a little kid. I was a little kid. I was obsessed with ESPN. I thought being an ESPN anchor would be the pinnacle of cool.
Right,
and I love playing baseball, but I think I would have loved talking about it even more.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think I would have been – to do what we're doing right now, honestly, whenever I got into broadcasting, I thought, man, that's something I've always wanted to do.
The same feeling.
And, like, being able to actually do this, communicate with an audience and talk about the game and talk about things going on at our school, it's a huge joy in my life.
Yeah. I live for Friday nights, man. I love it because, matter of fact, like maybe you haven't thought about it, but I know I have to miss for the Missouri Southern meet. A couple Fridays from now, and I got to miss the homecoming thing. And I was thinking to myself, dang, that's going to suck. And, when I said that I do a sports announcing during the basketball games, I was like, man, that means I got to give up the girls' live broadcast and working out here. But at the end of the day, this is a student-run thing, so like me surrendering a little time for kids to be able to have some success, like I'm good with that. But this is a dream. Like,
this is fun, yes.
Absolutely.
I have a question for you. So that the Missouri Stampede meet, is Sam Guerrero going to be going to that by chance?
Sam,
I guess he wouldn't have a reason to.
He might be because Felix will run on Friday night.
Okay.
He might go to that one.
Okay. Well, Sam had reached out to me one time and said he might be interested in doing a because I'm gonna have to find somebody to do commentating.
Yeah.
So Sam, if you're listening to this and you're available that weekend or that Friday, let me know because I would.
Doing solo broadcasting is hard because unless you're really good at talking to yourself,
yeah,
you're trying to come up with stuff. But
well, plus I'm usually trying to run around with cameras or
get
something,
6 kids in the right spot, right?
There's a little more to it. So, Cannon Harlow, I do the decathlon now, but I did pole vault back in high school and was 3 times All-State. So, wow.
All right, so Cannon, you are following. Is it Nielsen? Chris Nielsen? Was he the Park Hills guy that was state champ, state school record or state record holder? Chris Nielsen, that name kind of sounds familiar. But, our head coach, he was a former decathlete at Truman State, and he actually worked at Mizzou, and he now is like a really, really good pole vault coach. His son was actually state champ for Class 3, and his daughter was a second runner-up for Class 3. So, we hear you, brother. Decathlon is awesome. So if you are not interested in it, my friend, you should definitely think about teaching and being a track coach because you would find your way into that job really fast.
I have a feeling if Coach Kandra was up here with us right now, he'd have a lot of things to add to the conversation.
Yeah. He'd say, "What's your email?" And here's my email, and let me talk to you, my friend, because Coach is a wonderful resource for anybody. So if you're not interested in education, hey, that's okay. But if not, if you're still kind of undecided because you're at Mizzou, hey, check it out, man. Yeah, being a teacher is pretty awesome. You get to do this stuff.
He went to Park Hill KC.
Okay, all right.
So there's a difference, I guess?
That's probably why you guys go by Central instead of Park Hills. Okay. That makes sense. I knew the name was clicking in my head, but I was like, all right.
Also, I popped a little chat box up on screen here. I should have done that a lot longer ago, but that gets you guys to be able to see this. And it does look like the teams are coming back onto the field, but as I look at the scoreboard out there, there's 3 minutes left so we'll still continue to talk in here for about 3 minutes.
Julie Moss, we appreciate you being a Central fan but still enjoying the commentating. Hey, we love to talk. If people wanted to describe us, they would probably talk us. I'm a natural introvert, to be honest with you, so this is kind of weird for me. It always is, but
Katie,
I also really, really love it because sports is something that's fun, and like talking about kids is pretty easy. Here is
this is Katie Lloyd. Katie is one of the TV studio students this year. She is the one operating the camera that's on the roof of the press box. You're doing a great job.
Great job.
I just wanted the viewers. How many people would you guess are watching this right now? Take a guess. 235. 235? That's a really good guess. Also, our previous highest viewership was 130. At one point, we hit like 290 today. And they've all said that you're doing a fantastic job. So you're doing a great job up there.
And as you guys can tell, it is cool enough here that Katie's able to wear a hoodie, which she's freezing.
Wow.
So it must be windy.
I don't know about all that, Katie. It's a little bit.
The wind up there is pretty cool.
Okay, it is windy on top of the press box.
If you guys have ever been to Dutchmen Field, it's windy. If you haven't, it's windy.
Yeah.
It's terrible here.
Well, you're doing a great job up there, Katie, and I did turn the camera off, so you'll have to turn it back on. But you're doing a fantastic job. All right, I will. I'll keep the chat box on, but I'll take our ugly mugs off the screen real quick so you guys can see it better. See the team warming up a little bit better. It looks like they're gonna. I have no clue where they're gonna take this camera. We have another Dutchman football player who doesn't have enough practice yet. He's operating the camera that you're seeing move around right now.
Robbie, we appreciate your comment there. Thank you very much.
Melissa Johnson, really appreciate you letting Braxton participate in the breakout. But yeah, so last year for our Outbreak series, each episode for a few consecutive episodes was filmed at a different school on campus. So we were able to involve middle school students and elementary school students in the series. I think the cast was insane. By the end of the year, Coach Dave, I counted it up. It had 70 different people appear in the series, and they were all people that are from Owensville and in in the school system. So very, very cool.
You know, that makes it a little bit tough, because you're trying to
Scheduling-wise, it was
Yes.
something
Ooh.
else, man. Unbelievable from that end. But, those kids, they did a great job, and it was really fun for me to get to be a part of it and see them develop. But what else we got on there, Coach? Anything else?
Well, Katie Davids, that's what we figured out. For some reason, my lack of understanding was thinking Park Hills, and I just clicked them as the same thing. It's kind of the same way as, you got St. Pius X, and, there's a bunch of different ones. There's Jefferson Festus versus just Jefferson. We see Liberty Mountain View, but then there's also like Liberty over near Kansas City, I believe. So, I messed it up a little bit. I apologize. So we do have our facts straight now. So.
Also, you see down there in the bottom, the guys are getting stretched out. I imagine that has to do with cramps, Coach. And also the big guy you see stretching him out, he is our high school baseball coach as well. That is Stephen Kemp. But just trying to get loose, I guess, before they get back out there.
My guess, it looks like they're doing a lot of hip stretches. But when you're sitting around there, it looks like Tim still got a little bit of that calf hiccup. These other guys are looking at a little bit of hamstring and a little bit of hip looseness. So, you sit on the bench for too long in the locker room, you could get some stiffness, especially if you're a guy standing here on the sideline. You can get some stiff hips there too, just because you're not moving around too much. You're standing. You're pretty stagnant. But I definitely think we've got a great staff. Having Ethan here from Potential Therapy, that's gonna, he has actually came in, and we used to talk a lot about Anita, but now Ethan's able to help fill that void with having two different trainers that we can have here on staff, and they're both great.
Yeah, and for listeners at home that maybe don't know, I believe now that you're doing the AD stuff, you can probably give more insight on this than I can right now. But I believe that it's kind of required at football to have a trainer on staff at all times, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's a requirement. I haven't gotten to that step yet, but I have no doubt that if it's not, it should be.
Oh, absolutely.
We're the same way. Like, we have them at basketball games, almost every basketball game. I don't know if it's every or if it's mainly the tournaments. Our wrestling tournament has them. I do believe Anita said we're going to have them at the track meets this year. I think that's what we talked about, and I think there's a couple at baseball games too. So it's tough whenever you don't actually have like a hospital in town where you can just pull some PT people over. So we have to pull these guys from their actual clients that they're doing OT or PT with, and it's just tough to get every
They do a
single
great
time.
job.
Yeah.
Another thing about Ethan Jowers here, I'll take a second to say this too. He was one of my high school baseball teammates. Phenomenal pitcher. I know he's doing some youth coaching in the community too. If you have any interest in sports at all, whether it be coaching, officiating, get involved. And it doesn't matter which level at either. It's important, and you're going to make an impact on students' lives more than you even believe. And I believe it was Robbie Holtz up there. He said, y'all are doing great. Kids are lucky to have you guys and your passion. I appreciate that comment, but honestly, I think Coach Dave would echo this too. I mean, this job gets us fired up.
Yep.
We have so much fun getting to interact with the students and what we get to do with coaching and, TV studio and all the extracurricular. We're both class sponsors for the senior class this year. Yes, we try to do a great job for the kids, but it's a good job that really gives back to us. Maybe not financially as much, but it gives back to us in different ways that we're very, very appreciative of.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade it.
No. Melissa, you said really appreciate you letting Braxton participate in the breakout videos. Absolutely, no problem there. He loved doing it so much. Absolutely. We got some more information here on Joe Bryant and Kaysen Murphy. Were 7-time All-Staters through high school. That's a
Yeah.
That's
We
some serious
don't
stuff
doubt
right
that.
there.
We saw your guys' Facebook post, and on the picture with Joe Bryant and Kaysen Murphy, you could barely even see them because of all the accomplishments they got last year. So all three of you guys were fantastic. We appreciate you showing the love to your brothers there, by saying that, hey, they were great too. So Cannon, we went and we Facebook found some information.
I will say that I have to give Coach Dave some props here. I was trying to find the Central Rebels football page for about half an hour. I text Dave, and I'm like, dude, I cannot find it. He texts me back in like 30 seconds. He's like, here it is.
Here you go, man. No.
I have a hard time finding Facebook pages, but he did a great job finding it. So, all right, I'm going to take the chat off here. Katie Davis, go great broadcast. Let's go Rebels. We'll agree with the great broadcast, Katie.
Let's go Dutchmen.
And we're rooting for a good game here.
Yeah.
We're rooting for a good game. The Rebels have come in and played extremely well, and we're really excited about how the Dutchmen have played too. So hoping everybody stays healthy. Hoping everybody has a good time. Hoping we get to see a good game here, which so far all those boxes are checked.
We're going third quarter, 12 minutes on the clock. Dutchmen kick it off.
Oh, it's a onside kick. Oh, my goodness.
And jump up the ball, boys.
Man. Holy cow, the Dutchmen had a...
There we go.
No, they did recover.
I did not think we were getting that.
I did not. They looked very passive around the ball there for a second, Coach.
Now, you know you're looking at the 10, right? We got to cross the 50, but as soon as that thing's across the 50, I was like, jump, man.
So the Dutchmen come out, kicking onside to start the third quarter. They receive, they do recover the kick, and the Dutchmen are going to get started here on their own 49. So they're about to cross midfield already into that Rebel territory. So, really proud of the Dutchmen. They've come out to play here.
Hey, I don't know if that was Kemp or Howard, but whoever made that call, great one.
All right, ball snapped. It's going to be a running play right up the gut. It looks like Logan Bailey for maybe a couple of yards there. Or was that Jaden Gerleman? I lost
45.
That was Jaden Gerleman, senior here at OHS. So the Dutchmen are going to have a second down and about 6 here.
And I don't need to tell you who made the tackle. You guys probably already know. Jackson Jones.
Goodness gracious.
Rutted it again.
Everywhere. All right, here.
We're watching that play clock. I think we're snapping at 15s.
Ball is snapped, and it looks like it's going to be another running play to Jaden Gerleman, who takes it right up the gut again.
Keep driving. Chop him.
Yeah, he was driving. He's a very strong kid. Looks like he got to about the 44 of the Rebels.
One of the
43.
ways Coach Howard described Jaden was this summer, he's like, if that boy looks at a weight, he gains muscle.
Yeah.
That just kind of explains. Jaden's not a particularly large feller at all, but he is strong.
Definitely country strong is what we call it around here.
Yes, that is what we call it.
All right. In the shotgun is going to be another handoff to Jaden again. They're going to just see if he can work the first down, and he is going to be stopped at basically the line of scrimmage that time. I think it didn't get anywhere.
Yes.
So now the Dutchmen are faced with a 4th and 3, and I'm going to assume that they're definitely going to go for this thing here.
Yeah, we're too far out. I don't think we have. I haven't seen too much punting practice.
And it gets to be one of those things where it's like, I've seen so many punts in high school not go the way you wanted them to.
Yeah.
And are you really going to get that much to help your defense, or are you better off just trying to go and get the extra yardage? So that's what
we're looking at a far snap back,
All right. It's going to be a keeper. He's going to look like he's getting stopped in the backfield. That play looked like it was going nowhere. That's going to be a turnover on downs, as Wilson, the quarterback, was only able to get to about the 43. He needed to get to the 41.
55.
55 for the Dutchman is down on the field
Liam?
right now.
Is that Liam Rasmussen?
Yes, that is Liam Rasmussen. Looks like he's down with a leg. We're hoping it's just a cramp. He was a freshman last year that got to see some playing time on the defensive line for the Dutchman. He ran track. He played baseball. And I think he wrestled. So he was a very active athlete here at our school, and back out on the football team getting some playing time. And, we're going to take a second here to talk. Ethan Jowers, that was the guy that we went to school with. He's the athletic trainer out on the field right now, assisting in this moment. And this is exactly what we were talking about. This is why you have it for those situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we got some helmets off there, too. I can see that Cale Walker's out there. So Cale and Liam are both sophomores. They're both particularly strong guys. Like, when you look at their body type, they got muscle on them. I thought I saw a couple other numbers out there. Landon Disselkamp. I got Landon in class this year, Algebra 2, 8th hour.
He's a big, strong kid.
He is a big, strong kid. Number 58's out there, too, Henry Leb. We mentioned him quite a bit last year, I believe, and he's out there again.
Looks like he's definitely able to get some motion on that leg, so
that's good.
That's a positive sign for sure. Looks like he's going to get up, hopefully walk off on his own power, and he does. So hopefully just a cramping situation or a small tweak. Definitely happy to see him walk off on his own power. Real quick here, Cannon Harlow again. Jackson had about 160 tackles last year. Holy smoke. So the starting quarterback had 160 tackles in a high school season. That's averaging well over 10 a game.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
That's pushing.
You don't play 16 games in a high school season. That's unreal. That's for a quarterback.
Like, even going all the way to state, that's
for a quarterback that, carries the ball a lot, too. He's absorbing a lot of contact throughout the season.
Oh, my gosh, guys. I am so sorry I let this clock just run.
All right, so this is that Karis Foster. Oh, my God. He's got a long – he's going to take that to the house. That is why he is listed as athlete on the roster. Our cameras are a little off here, but he took it. Oh, boy. Back at the middle of the field, there was a hold on the Rebels. So,
oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. He just raked off it's
a 60 almost, 55?
55-yard run that's going to come all the way back on a holding penalty. Holy smokes. Okay, so take another second here. Number 11 for the Rebels is an absolute weapon this year. He lines up at wide receiver. He lines up at running back. He's playing defensive back. He's flying all over the place. Almost made an interception earlier.
You guys go ahead and tell us what he did last year, because I'm pretty sure I remember seeing his name on something too.
Yeah, he's only a sophomore this year. My goodness. Got some young guys on the team that are just really, really contributing. Who's the other guy? I know his last name was Black, I think, earlier. August Black, number 23, a freshman this year. He returned a kickoff earlier. Guy's got some young talent on this team. Unbelievable. Ball snap. Jackson's going to take it straight up the gut. He's going to get about a yard. It was a 1st and 20, and we see 2 late flags come in. It looked like it was in the Dutchmen secondary. I'm interested to see what this is. I didn't see it happen with my own eyes, so I don't know what happened here.
Our boys look like they're walking backwards, though, so.
Not sure what the call's going to be. It looked like it was completely off play.
We're going back further.
I'm going to guess a personal foul would be my guess.
On the Rebels.
It is. It's going to be a personal foul on the Rebels, so it looks like maybe some frustration from the long touchdown getting called back or something. I have no idea. I'm not going to speculate any further than that, but that is going to move the Rebels either further back, or the Dutchmen are going to decline the penalty and just take the loss of down. Or actually, a personal foul is probably tacked on, I would bet.
I would have thought. 9:43. I don't know what's happening here, guys. We wish we could help you, too.
I'm not sure that anybody knows what's happening here. They're picking the flags up now. They did call the foul. The Rebels are walking back.
But the official has
Dutchmen are not walking forward. No one is moving. Okay, now the ball's moving.
Okay. So is that
My goodness, we're like NFL blitz distance here now. Anybody watching, if you guys remember NFL blitz from way back in the day when we were kids.
We are back to the 21-yard line, and the first down is the 47-yard line on the other side.
We're at, that's
29,
31-2. This is a 30.
First and 32, second and 32.
Second and 32. Yeah, this is NFL blitz level here. This is unbelievable. It looks like, all right, so here we go. Jackson is under center.
Yeah, we know that
he's taking it right up the gut again, and he's going to get about 3 yards to get to
3rd and 29.
The Rebel 30. Yeah, the Rebel 30. So it's going to be 3rd and
25.
All right, if they don't make a big chunk here, I bet we do see a punt. They did punt earlier in the game.
Right.
It would take. They'd have to get a. Now, keep in mind, they did have one go all the way to the house earlier and get called back, so they are definitely capable of the big play.
Right.
So we'll have to see what happens here.
And he's lined up in the slot.
He looks like he's going to throw. He's got some options downfield, but this is his target. Just a little bit wide of number 4. The pass was intended for Devin Graff, a junior. So that's going to leave them with a 4th and forever. I'm going to assume we're going to see a punt here.
We're bringing a guy limping out.
Number 18 or 16.
Yeah, 18. He's limping.
Chad Cosby. He made a play earlier, Chad did. You can see the Rebels traveled really well, actually.
Yeah.
Considering this was a last-minute deal. Come on, cameras, get on the game here.
Probably get a couple more from the youth. Oh, who's the call on?
Oh, we got the pointing. Everybody's pointing. Oh, looks like he's going to be on the Rebels. So take him 5 more back. At this point, what's another 5 yards? 4th and 34? Okay.
I don't even know what to say. I'm sorry.
So just to recap here, this half started off with with the Dutchmen recovering an onside kick, going 4 and out, and then turning the ball over to the Rebels, who ran one all the way to the house for about 60 yards out, only to get called back. and then to have a slew of penalties called to back them up to this point. We're at 4th and 34 here, and it is a punt.
It's a low one.
Looks like it's going to
just let it fall, boys.
Let it go, guys. So the Dutchmen look like they're going to take over about at midfield. It's going to be on their own 49, so they're about a yard away from being into Rebel territory. Got a lot of clicks to make there to get from the 4th and
20, 24. As a math teacher, I'm glad I could figure that one out. All right, and I apologize, guys. We were about a minute off on the clock, but with all the penalties, sometimes I left it run, sometimes I didn't, and then the clock still ran. And
Coach Dave has got it right online here. So, wow, Crystal Kaufman tells us that this is Jackson's first start as a high school quarterback. So I guess the state team last year featured somebody else as the ball snapped, and it's going to be a running play for Jaden Gerleman on the outside again. He gets about a yard, and then we have a penalty thrown in the backfield. We have a Dutchman player down, as you can see on the far left of your screen. Everybody takes a knee. That looks like it's...
That was right in the area of the
again.
flag going down.
I don't know if it was I have no clue what to expect here. Number 55 for the Dutchman.
Is that Henry? No, that's Liam again.
This is the guy that got hurt last time.
Okay.
He might need a minute.
Yeah. Putting in 58 coming in. Henry Leb coming in.
So what is the penalty going to be? Man, we've seen a lot of hankies on the field so far in this half.
It looks like it's a hold against the Dutchman. Looks like we're walking that first down back. About 15.
Hold on the Dutchman. That's going to make it. They're going to accept that penalty. Going to make it a 1st and 20.
1st and 20. All right, so we talked in the first half. It was a pretty clean game. We had some penalties, but the Dutchmen were the ones that were, benefiting. Well, we just had a whole bunch benefit us, and then we got to keep it clean, boys, because flags work both ways if you let them.
All right, so I'm looking at the Rebels secondary here, and it looks like that Karis Foster is on our side. He's going to be a guy I watch on this play because, man, he is he's a ball hawk.
He's lining up against Ricky, so that means, yep, exactly. Zayden Gates was one-on-one with somebody or playing a zone, able to pick up about 8 yards there.
Really proud of, so it looks like, thanks to Crystal, you let us know that this is Jackson's first start at quarterback. It's our quarterback's first start at quarterback, too. So 2 quarterbacks getting their first start. And I think, honestly, I'm going to say both of them, I think, have looked really well. I think they've done a great job. They haven't been afraid to take some chances. They've made some plays with their legs. It's been entertaining to watch for us, for sure. And I think that, it's been a
and like
reason
you say
why this
there,
has been a good game.
Kaysen All-State Quarterback Player of the Year. Yeah, when you lose a player like that, your team has to reform around him. And, good grind there by the Dutchman.
Looks like they're going to pick up about 5 on that rushing attempt to move it to 3rd and 8. It's definitely a much more manageable. So they erased that 10-yard penalty. It took 2 plays, and PA announcer calls 3rd down and 8. We got a few more comments here. Sidney Koppelmann, let's go Dutchman. Cannon Harlow. Kaysen was the quarterback last year. Kaysen and Job shared the player of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we can tell.
Makes sense.
We could tell. All right, Dutchman send 2 guys out wide. We're still running this Chase Crosby as the sweep.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of end-arounds with him in this situation. It looks like it was a fake end-around this time. Maybe a broken play, honestly. That looked like that might not have been how they drew up. It looked like there was some congestion in the backfield there. To me, it looked like Adam was intending to try to get the ball.
All right, we got another personal foul flag thing coming, I think.
I'm having a feeling it's on the Rebels. There was a Rebels D lineman, number 71, who was frustrated with a teammate there that I think might have made a personal foul. I'm not 100% certain, just my perspective from looking up here. Number 71 isn't listed on the roster, so I'm not sure if the roster's incorrect or what. It is going to be a personal foul against the Rebels, which is going to give the Dutchman a first down here, so... the frustration in a situation like that is, first off, these are high schoolers.
Right.
And it's a high-intense thing for them. They're out here. Means a lot to them, a lot of passion. And hopefully we look at it as learning experience.
And,
trying to figure out, how do we respond in a situation that's not going our way.
And
I don't know what happened. I didn't even personally see it.
But I do like teammates taking accountability for one another. Like, you guys are out there together.
Absolutely.
Versus, like, you having your coach screaming at you on the sideline. Like, that's a teammate telling you, hey, bud, correct it. Let's go. Like, he clearly knows that we had way too many penalties on the last drive. 71 says, we need to stop that. Let's get it right.
Okay, so now Dutchmen are faced with a first down here on the Rebel 34-yard line. The ball is snapped. It's going to be a quick out. No, it's going to be – he's going to keep it himself.
Pickups
And
about
he was
3?
able to get 2 or 3 out of it, I guess. And now we have a timeout on the referees.
It's under 6. So this is that water timeout we were talking about.
Oh, okay. So
He just
thank you.
gave his –
It is. Yep, and all the kids are yelling water, and they're all running.
And look at them. They're all cramping too, man. Golly, boys. Come on.
They're stretching. They're drinking water. Go back to what you said. I had an interesting conversation with a Dutchman football parent the other night, and they were talking about, teams that really buy in are teams that, want to go and fight for one another. And holding each other accountable is a big piece of that. So that Rebel player that was holding his teammate accountable, saying, hey, man, we got to, we're into this together. You can't, you got to sacrifice for the team, even if maybe your emotions are getting you. I think that's exactly what you want to see. You want to see the players holding each other accountable,
Yes,
and not the coaches having to do it. So, and trust me, we've seen our fair share of personal fouls on Dutchman players over the years. So it happens both ways.
Yes, there's one that really sticks out to me during a playoff game.
Oh.
I remember one.
But you got to look at it as learning experiences.
Yep.
These, if you're to pull anything from a sport, you hope you learn some life lessons, and maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Again, though, like I said, I didn't actually see the personal foul, so I really can't speak to it. All right, Dutchmen are lined up. We're going to go to this camera angle. Looks like it's a little bit of a better one. Adam rolls out to his right, which seems to be his favorite way to roll out. They're going to say
ground contact, in my opinion.
the backline judge is calling it incompletion. So, the white hat I thought signaled incomplete, and the other judges, no, they took it back.
Took
to
it
the
back.
original.
Yep.
Okay. It would have been like a 1 yard.
My mom wants to know who the announcers are this year for the stadium. Who are they, Tyler?
I believe I saw Chad out there. Chad Watson.
Yes, I don't.
Chad Watson, I think, is the guy that you hear over the PA speaker, Cindy.
Okay, there you go. And if we're wrong, somebody can correct us.
I actually had a chance to talk to Chad last night. I said, well, you got an interesting story to say how your broadcast or your PA speaking debut went. Oh, my gosh. That was
Balls out.
I'm going to bet that's Central. I bet Central gets that one. So it looked like quarterback Adam Wilson was trying to shovel it, but there was 2 Dutchmen there trying to receive it. And it looks like miscommunication on the Dutchman ends up being a benefit to the Rebels as they were able to recover that.
Yeah, somebody's wanting to say an incomplete pass, but I'm pretty sure that would require his hand to go over the top and not just.
No, that's not true.
No?
Shovel, that's actually a good point. I don't know. It did look like he shoveled it. If you shovel it forward, that's still a pass.
Pass, okay.
Unless you lost control of it.
Right, if your arm was bumped as you were pushing forward.
Regardless, it was a broken play by the Dutchman because I don't think that.
What in the world just happened here?
Another guy down. This was a non-contact standing injury.
What in the world just happened?
Looks like this is a cramp, I guess.
That was if you guys saw that,
I didn't see it happen.
he just ran out and then hop and then was down.
Oh, God, that's scary, actually.
Yeah.
A non-contact injury like
Now,
could that really be a cramp? You see in sports a lot of times, I'm not going to say I will say it, the non-contact injuries usually end up being something of the nature of ACL.
Yeah.
And
it looks like a cramp, but yeah.
the way he's stretching out right now makes it seem like a cramp.
Who was that in the Super Bowl last year? That defensive player?
Ooh,
He was jogging onto the field and ruptured his Achilles or his calf or something, or tore his ACL. Maybe it wasn't in the Super Bowl, but it was in the playoffs. That's Liam again. So
something's going on here.
yes, we got to get and Liam's.
So the last 3 stoppages have been for the same player. So something's going on with his leg there.
Got his mouthpiece out there somewhere, he says. Yeah,
But he's walking off on his own power.
he's got the limp,
he's
though. You
healthy.
can tell that he's got a little bit of something going on.
All right, let me check the chat again. Dre Greenlaw, thank you very much. He helped us out. Ken Harlow, you've been a blessing to the chat here and helping us remember the things that we're trying to remember here. So Dre Greenlaw was the player that tore his Achilles or his ACL going
Yes,
onto the
okay.
field. So luckily, judging by the way that ended up, that was definitely not an ACL, but you do see a lot of non-contact injuries being ACL.
Oh, so Jake Barton, you're saying it was the second handoff, not the shovel pass. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you watched it. You can go back and replay if you really want.
Okay, it looks like the first run here by Central on first down is going to get them about
Is that
3
two,
yards,
three?
2, 3, something like that. Depends on where they spot it.
And we're handing it to number
it's-
11,
That's the guy I would put it in his hands
Harris
too.
Foster.
Karis Foster. He is
And another Dutchman
Making
sitting
moves.
on the ground. Ethan, you're getting your money's worth today, bud.
yeah. Ethan, he's put in the mileage
Yeah.
running out on the field. Ethan is the athletic trainer we've mentioned several times. My goodness.
I feel like Coach Howard at this time. He's like, this is just routine now.
You
But-
see the I guess those are the middle school football players out taking out water to the Dutchman football players at this point.
Guys, I laugh not
this-
because I don't think it's serious. I laugh because it's just such a weird situation.
Huh. That is who? 52 that time.
That's Timmy again. Timmy started cramping at the very beginning of the game, too, so. Boys, if it's a cramp,
got to be.
that's a nutrition and a hydration thing, probably. Now, it could be physical, but I'm going to guess nutrition. Look at all those boys. They're like, Tim, here, take some more water.
Hey, everybody wants a role. Everybody wants to be helpful. And the middle schoolers are just trying to help out high school. It looks like he's trying to stretch it out.
I really do think that my guess would be these guys didn't eat good last night because they waited. They got home, and then they didn't think about getting more fluids in their body.
All right, ball is snapped. Jackson steps back to pass. He's got a wide open receiver who catches the ball, number 31.
That's Barrett Henson, a senior, 5'9", 170 athlete.
Gets out to the sticks to give the Central Rebels a first down. That's going to be at the 45 is what he got to, is what they're spotting it at.
Okay. So they are moving the ball fairly well when they pass. It looks
We're
like
at 4. Yeah, you're right. You're right on, Coach.
good. The way when Jackson makes a short pass, they've been really good, really accurate. When he makes the long ones, they just kind of float up there. It's very similar to what Adam's getting to.
Oh, Jackson's got a hole.
Oh.
He is able to almost run for a first down completely on
I
his
think
own there.
The one official is marking him up a yard, and the other guy's marking him back. And they're saying first down.
Yep, moving the chains again. So now they're in Dutchman territory on 45. And as we're nearing the end of this third quarter, I remind you that in the first quarter we didn't have any scoring either. We went into the second quarter, scored 0-0, and all the scoring happened in the second quarter. So far here in this third quarter, we haven't had any scoring. I wonder if we'll have a repeat. Oh, here comes Karis
Harris
Foster.
Foster getting a 6-yard gain out of bounds.
Yeah, pushed out there by number 45 on the Dutchman.
Jaden Gerleman.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out to the Central fans. You know, on a Saturday morning impromptu, those stands over there are pretty full, Coach.
Yeah, that's actually probably one of the bigger sections that we've had for away teams in quite a while. Like, yeah, Four Rivers Conference travels pretty well because we're only traveling 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But
Oh, I think I got a camera battery on top that ran out.
all right,
Go up
I
and
got you.
replace that.
Oh, get set, brother. Good job. If that offense had flinched, we would have had it. But all right, they are short. Looks like they're going to be short by about 1 here, maybe less than 1. And we got a Central player laying down, but maybe getting up. Maybe. Come on, bud. It's a timeout on the field, so he will probably have to come off, I believe. 52 seconds. So we told you guys last night that our press box that we are in is a wonderful 6 foot wide at max. Okay, that was interesting to me. Here we go again, 3rd and 1. Put a man in motion back. Jackson goes up. He's got daylight, but he runs into number 12 for the Dutchman. Number 12, Xavier Bayless. Nice job, X. He does pick up his first down. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know what happened there with the time because I thought we had a timeout on the field for that injury, but the clock kept running, so I'm not 100% sure. We looked like we ran off about 20 seconds that I wasn't aware of, but they announced a timeout, and then they just kept the clock rolling, so.
All right, I am back now as well.
3:08.
All right. I'll give you guys this angle. We just had a camera battery die up top. Had to go replace that. It's going to be a pass out to, you
Karis
named
Foster.
it, Karis Foster.
Wrapped him up pretty quick there.
Absolutely. It's going to make it, I think you're right there, Coach. 2nd and 7 seems about accurate.
Xavier Bayless again. Good job, X. I'm excited to see you being able to be successful out there. This is
Karis
awesome
Foster
for you.
comes up a little limpy there if you saw him coming off the screen. He's a major part of this offense, ladies and gentlemen. Central fans,
We're going to
big,
get
big
a
part of this offense.
officials timeout, it looks like.
That might be an injury timeout itself. He might need a breather.
All right.
It looks like, by the way he's walking, it's a left leg of some sort.
Okay, so
He is being helped off by a coach at this point. I don't think we can see it in any of our camera angles, but, oh, man, yeah, he does look like his leg hurts. You seeing what I'm seeing, Coach?
yeah. He's got somewhere to be. Oh, somebody's talking about that timing issue I was talking about.
Huh. Well, we hope that Karis is
Yeah,
okay.
Karis.
He's been a blast to watch today. He's been flying around all over the place, making plays. So hopefully it's just a cramping issue and he's able to get back on the field. We'll let you know as soon as we do see him back on the field.
You know, and like those cramping issues, the problem is that like you're trying to stretch it out, but really when you're stretching, like from a lot of the stuff I've read is like stretching takes weeks and weeks and weeks of repeated action because you're really trying to tear that muscle into a new length. It's kind of like, working it out in the weight room. You got to,
We see Timmy Winterbauer. He was stretching it out here on the Dutchman sideline, so he's up and moving around again. He was the last Dutchman to come off the field a little limpy.
just takes a while. It's really tough to try to stretch and then be able to go back out there and expect that muscle to fire the same way. They got 3 guys in the backfield here. That's what they keep doing to get
Jackson's got a lead blocker, but the guy from behind got him. That was 58.
That should be Henry Leb.
I don't know. I set my roster down somewhere.
Henry
Where
Leb.
I put it?
241 somehow. Good for a Rebel first down. There you go, guys.
I think sometimes, and this is no slight to our fans here, and I'm sure it's probably like this everywhere, but I think sometimes fans just get very excited to hear the PA announcer say the person they're watching's name.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, ball snapped. Jackson's going to take it right up the gut, runs right behind a couple defensive linemen there, maybe picks up a few yards. Going to make it about a 2nd and maybe 8.
Sorry, guys, I clicked a couple too many times.
I have no – oh, here's where I put it. I was wondering where I put it. Well, I lost my roster for a second.
All right, we're bringing in another guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good. No extras.
All right. We got a whistle before the snap. What are we calling this here?
I don't know.
Timeout on the Dutchman. Man, that had to be right before the snap.
Well, so they brought that extra guy in, which really wasn't extra, but they only had 10 men in their huddle. And then they brought that 11th guy on, lined him up in the slot, and then I don't think the Dutchman had a defensive plan ready to go for that.
I will say for all the listeners that are at home, as far as what I am feeling whenever I go out on the press box, I do feel like it's a little muggy out there, though.
Yeah.
I think it's a little thick. Maybe that plays into maybe these guys are sweating a lot, some dehydration. Good thing they take the water breaks.
Well, and
maybe that contributes to the cramping that we're seeing.
Yeah, that water in the air reduces the amount of sweat you're getting, so you're not able to dissipate the heat the same way, so your internal body temperature's high. Well, hey, guess what? Welcome to cramping.
Absolutely. I also think that there was a lot of people in Central. You've already noted this several times in the chat that you guys graduated half the team last year, so it's really a completely different team. But I can tell you from what I know that the Dutchman faithful, they have to be very excited about the fact that the way the game has gone so far.
Yeah.
We're in this game, and it was maybe looked like a game that would be a challenge for us to be in.
Right at the knees.
Yeah, that was an incomplete pass. Going to make it 3rd and about 8. They're still deep in Dutchman territory, though.
Yeah, I mean, the expectation here at Owensville and all the chatter was these are the state champs. It didn't matter whether you guys lost 10, 12, 13. Like, it didn't matter how many people you lost. We still looked at you guys like the state champs.
Right. I know that our guys came into the game definitely feeling like the underdog. So this has been, we eclipsed 300 viewers. Thank you, guys.
Right on.
309. That's
Then
fantastic.
we go down to 298 right afterwards.
Well, it's weird in our chat here. I think that's updating
Okay.
differently.
Gotcha.
I think at one time we peaked at 309.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Either way, thank you guys for joining us.
we gave you guys your roses, and you gotta.
It feels good to come in and compete, though, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have another.
Taking a timeout by nobody.
I will say, from a viewer's perspective, this second half has been slower moving than what we saw in the second quarter. The second quarter had a lot of action. It's going to be a timeout on the Rebels. It feels like we've come back after halftime on both sides, maybe a little bit, I don't want to say unprepared or lackadaisical, but I want to say it just hasn't been clean football in this third quarter so far, Coach.
Yeah, we started out right at the beginning that I was like, okay, we're playing the chess match again, and then now it's actually like it's a chess match with your. Let me see if I can speak. A chess match with yourself, because it's all about who can manage the penalties the best. Like, that's what I've seen here in this third quarter.
Yeah, there's been a lot of penalties called for sure. So
penalties, injuries, right? Like, I mean, I feel like we should already be halfway done with the fourth quarter just based on a time perspective.
Yeah, it feels like there's been a lot of stoppage of play.
Yeah.
A lot of stoppage of play, for sure.
And that's got to be a little bit taxing on, you can't get into a flow on offense no matter where you're at. All right, Dutchman faithful trying to get loud. They don't have a single man out. 3 guys in the back.
3rd and 8. Handoff to number 30.
Wrap him up, boys!
Wrap him up. Almost wrapped him up for a loss, but I think they still got a big loss, but still got a loss of maybe a yard here. It's going to make it 4th and 10.
Landon Disselkamp come up with the big hit there.
Here's what I will say, Coach. I'm going to imagine that at this point and where they're at in the field, and we've already heard from some of the chat that they haven't really kicked much in the past. I'm going to imagine that they are going to go for this, and they are.
Yeah.
Say no more. Say less is what the kids would tell me.
Yeah. Say less.
All right.
One out.
Snap, and it looks like he's going to look to pass towards the end zone. He's running out towards the sideline. That's going to be an incomplete pass, and that's going to be a turnover on down. So we still haven't had any scoring yet in this second half. Jaden O'Ryan, you said, why was the coach screaming at the Rebels? I don't know. Football's an intense game. I'm not really sure. Could be a variety of reasons.
We also don't know which coach you're talking about. Probably not ours.
I'm not really sure. I have no idea.
But Jaden, if you want to ask again and clarify your question, we do this kind of thing in class.
We'll definitely bring it up. I don't know that we're going to have an answer regardless.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
I'll say, what do you mean?
It is interesting. I feel like when you're broadcasting a game, you notice a lot of things, but you also miss a lot of things too.
Oh,
Because you're focused on. You're doing scoreboard here. I'm doing flipping cameras. So there's it's hard to catch everything.
Yeah, and a lot of times I'll end up watching the screen to try to see what I'm seeing.
Yeah, based on where it's at on the field. As the
Jaden
handoff goes
Gurleman?
to Jaden Gurleman, it looks like he's going to lose a yard or two there.
Dang.
As the Rebels had that bottled up in the backfield very well from the start. And we are, the clock is winding. It's at about 40-ish seconds. It's not quite 40 yet, so we're right on topic here.
Perfect. Looks like Adam lost his play card, and I think what we need to get to, and I don't want to talk like I know what we need to do. I would love to see a little bit more pass.
Yeah, we threw a touchdown for sure. I don't know how. Were both of them passing touchdowns?
Zayden had the one, right? And I don't remember
Chase
this.
Crosby, I think, had the other one.
Right.
Yeah, I think they were both passes.
And we got 3 receivers out this time. We put Chase in motion. Chase takes the flip, the pitch.
Oh,
but-
boy, big number 71. He
71.
said, no, thank you. That's not going nowhere.
Okay, Cannon, if you know who 71 is, let us know, because he's not on our list.
Yeah, he's not on our list, but he was the player that was holding his teammate accountable earlier, and he just made a big play for the Rebels in the backfield. That's going to wind the clock all the way down to 0, make it the fourth quarter, and it looks like they're going to flip sides here for this last quarter, and the Dutchmen will have a big, long third down from the 10-yard line.
It's going to be 3rd and 13, 3rd and something like that.
Probably so.
They got
Jane
it
O'Ryan
50.
says the Rebels coach was screaming right at the timeout.
Hey,
So here's what I'm going
We
to
don't
say.
know.
I'm going to bet that he probably saw something on the field that he thought was an infraction, or maybe I have no clue. It's hard to tell. But obviously you're in the game and you're trying to communicate from long distances. So I have no clue, Jaden. I would imagine he was just trying to communicate with somebody.
yeah, as a track and cross country coach, a lot of times you'll see me, and if you don't have a clue what you're seeing, you'll probably think that I'm screaming at my kids. And it's because of the passion and the loudness I get. So a couple years ago, I started whistling instead of screaming. So now they know what different whistles mean. If you hear Coach Dave's whistle, hey, it's kind of go time, but I can't give you all my secrets.
Shout out and thanks to Sam Calloway and Hudson Bruv.
Justin Robinson.
Justin
sorry.
Robinson. I don't think he's on our roster or something.
He's listed as 69 on here, 6'3", 220. Yep, that's him.
That makes sense. And he's a senior. So, yeah,
That's a leader then.
he's a big guy, and he is making plays for the Rebels.
Yeah,
so.
Justin, kudos to you for holding your teammates accountable and being a darn good player.
From the press box, and you got to take it for what it is, but from our perspective, it looks like he's a leader out on the field.
Yep. And he's also playing, that center linebacker or lineman spot.
Nose guard.
Yes.
All right, first play of the fourth quarter here is going to be a 3rd and 16. Adam takes it right up the gut. He's got a little bit of green to work with, splits a gap, gets about to the line of scrimmage. It's going to end up being about a 4th and
6?
6. 5.5. 4th and 5.5, 6.
If I would
And
click
we're
the right
sitting
way.
in number 84. I'm guessing 84 is our punter.
That is Budnick.
That
Yes.
is, Andrew Budnick, a freshman. I'm imagining that if he's in the game, he's about to punt the ball.
Yeah, he's been our kickoff. So I've seen him punt a bit at practice. I haven't seen a ton of it, but
So you're deep in your own territory at this point. It's not a short 4th down, but let's see what the kind of yards the Dutchmen get here on this punt.
we're bringing in Liam again. Liam, get through this session, man. Oh,
And
that's a
Oh,
backspin going. Oh no!
that's why high school punting sometimes is just
I went out at
challenging.
the
It's just
29
not
and we
easy.
kicked it from the 15.
So it looks like we gained a net yardage of, 5 yards on the punt?
Yeah.
So not ideal. Not ideal. Obviously, that's a freshman punting the ball, his first punt of his career.
I don't know where the chain gang's going, guys.
They're going way too far.
Guys, they're going the other way, bros.
All right, they're switching it up. They got it figured out over there. Punting in high school, not easy. It takes not
We
easy
all
to do.
played kickback at some point in time with
Crystal
that
Kaufman
kickball.
says, I don't think he is a senior. That's possible to our roster. We're just going off what's on our roster there.
Yeah, it tells us Justin Robinson, but his number is 69, so things could just be messed up for us.
And that's very possible. First game of the season, I'm sure.
Oh, no.
What do we got here? It's either offsides or false start.
All-star.
False start on the Rebels, so that's going to move them back 5.
You know what?
My hope for the rest of the game, Coach, and this goes for both teams.
No flags?
No flags.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
We got a clean, exciting finish to this game.
One of my favorite things about watching, football is watching the size of the center. Number, I think it's 61 or 31 out there. He is much smaller than the other linemen.
Yeah, a lot of times your center is smaller, actually.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. It gives me hope for, my kids if they want to play football. Another
Looks like another
false
false
start. Oh,
That's a drive killer right there. Just trying to get something going.
well, and we got to be able to take advantage of this situation now as the Dutchmen faithful. Come on.
It feels like so far in the second half, both teams have been giving the other team lots of opportunities to try to open something up, and neither team has been able to take advantage of those opportunities just yet.
Right.
So I think the end of this game is probably going to be who's able to take advantage of the opportunities that they're given.
We're one score away from having a win in either direction. I think
Right.
the next score wins, in my opinion. And if nobody scores, then Park Hills.
Jackson's looking for somebody. He's
Come on.
scrambling the back end. He gets a big sack by Landon Disselkamp, and he is fired up out on the field there, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go!
Now, that's a big sack because not only do they lose yardage, but they also lose the down. So we're back into NFL blitz mode here, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like it's going to be a 2nd and 30 again?
Oh, boy.
5, 10. No, 2nd and 25-ish. Oh, man, that's a lot of excitement. But again, this Rebel team is one big play away. That also, I should say that Karis Foster is back in the game, and there is going to be another false start. My golly.
You know, okay, I'm looking at Coach Benton's body language. His body language with that happened, he just tilted his head, and it almost made me think we did something wrong. The body language from up here, I was like, Coach, no, that was good for us, man.
All right, so now we are back in NFL blitz mode here. It is second
boy.
and 30. My goodness, this has been an interesting half. Or maybe
And you know, as educational commentators here, like, we are Dutchmen faithful, so we're happy, but at the same time, it's like you still want to see a competitive good game. So Karis Foster
here comes
goes in
Karis
motion.
Foster. Another reverse. Oh, my God.
Ball's out! 31 is wrapped up 2 yards behind the line. Let's go,
That
Dutchmen.
was almost a very big disaster for the Rebel offense there, as the ball was on the ground but got a good bounce back into the arms. That could have been one of those plays that changed the game. Now we're at a 3rd and 30, and you know, this is still one of those situations where you can't get too relaxed as a Dutchman offense or defense, because it is one big play away.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to side with you here on this, Coach Dave. I think the next team that scores, that's who I would put my bet on winning this game. So
Yeah, I agree.
I'd be very surprised if there wasn't another score in this game. If there was no score in the second half, that'd be surprising to me.
And we got Karis
Foster's got the ball, and he's
and he
got
got a
some
gap.
green, just like we talked about. He makes a big chunk of that back.
Ball's
but
out. No,
not-
he's still going. Okay.
I feel like that's a little bit. I need to get on that whistle just a little bit sooner to protect players a little bit
Yeah.
there. Because he looked like he was wrapped up. Doesn't need to take any more shots there.
Right.
Wasn't going nowhere. So Foster makes a pretty big gain there to get it to be about a 4th and
20?
4th and 20. I'm going to bet they don't punt here, though, because they are in Dutchman territory.
Yeah, you can't go for the punt, but also, are you going to try to get all 20, or are you just going to try to get a 10 and then just move the ball?
Well, I mean, if you chuck it downfield and you throw an interception, it's still – oh, no, that's a punt. That was the quarterback also punts.
Oh,
He punted
that would
it
have been
into the end zone, so it's going to come back to the 20 or the 25. I don't know what the high school rule is.
that would have been an impressive thing if he could have downed that thing at the
Oh, inside the 5?
5. Yeah,
Oh, man, that would have
because
been
it
great.
bounced on the 5. If it had the same backspin,
I feel like you see that punt style in high school football a lot more now, and a lot of times the quarterback, usually one of your best athletes on the field, can pull off that, you know,
That read
punt
option
from the
almost.
from the shotgun.
yeah.
So, I do wonder. I wonder if Central puts the decision-making there on the quarterback. If they see something at the line, they're like, we got a one-on-one or something like that, or maybe somebody's unguarded, take a shot and go for it.
Yeah.
And if not, just take a step back and punt it.
Well, like they were saying, there's only 2 of these guys that are returning all-staters, and that's Jackson, number 49, and then number 79, one of their linemen. So if I'm going to risk it, I'm going to put it in.
Dutchmen take over at the 20. It's going to be a run that goes absolutely nowhere from Logan Bailey. He gets wrapped up in the backfield. Might have lost a yard, actually.
Yeah, I'll get these things updated for you guys. I apologize.
A lot of comments here. Sam Callaway is my favorite Central Rebel player of all time. Sam Callaway's in the chat, I believe. Yeah, he is. So shout out to Sam Callaway. Crystal Kaufman, I don't think he's a senior. I went to that. Yes, Grandma heard Wyatt Shaw's name. Very good, Wyatt Shaw. Tim Murkey, he's at Yankee Stadium today watching the Cardinals take on the Yankees. And
Thanks for the update.
he said Cards leading the Yankees 4-1 after 1. Hope the Cardinals win. I hope Aaron Judge hits a home run. That's what I want to see. As Wilson,
come on.
winding up to throw deep. So we got Karis Foster on that. He does make that interception. That's going to be – he got those feet in. Man, he is a good football player.
Ricky did a lower-the-shoulder boom on him, but he held that ball.
He
and,
tiptoed the sidelines, and he made the catch. That was fantastic.
and that's
You know,
what I
that's
keep
the name
seeing.
that I'm going to – that and Jackson. I'm going to remember those 2 names coming out of this game because we've called them a ton.
You guys have elevated your name into the Radon Fowler group.
Yes.
Okay?
Radon Fowler was a running back for Pacific last year. We called his name
We'll just
over
make
and
a
over and
list.
over again.
Let's start making a list of the people we will remember.
Shout out Karis Foster. Great play. You're a ball hawk in the secondary. A lot of fun to watch.
That ball just sits up there so long.
Glad you were able to get back into the game.
Come on, boys. It's the next score.
Here's what I will say. I don't mind the Dutchman taking that shot there. I like taking the shot.
I liked it.
It's going to take a big play, I think, to win this game.
I would like to see another one of those Tanner Meyer motions. Get
Yes.
Chase going. We need some defense cheer.
We need a ball with some open green so somebody can run. Jackson is going to take it himself, and he's done a great job at taking it himself and picking up chunks of
Sixes,
yardage at a time.
yes.
So he ended up getting about 6 or 7 there.
Yeah, that's 7.
Yeah, he's got 3 to go. So it's going to be 2nd and 3 from the Rebel 47. So they're just about into Dutchman territory already. With that said, Cannon Harlow, our QB, has always punted. Interesting. So obviously your QB was different last year, so I guess you guys always do that. I think that's becoming a lot more common in high school football.
Well, especially if you do have a guy like Jackson that looks like he could be a rugby player, then why not? Like,
right, and obviously I think your quarterback is always one of your best athletes on the field, so odds are he could probably kick a ball.
Oh, there he goes again.
My goodness, just bowling over people. That is a tough QB right there. Good run, Jackson. It looks like Dutchman player slow to get up there, maybe. 26, that's Chase Crosby. Yep, this is going to be another injury timeout. I think he's cramped up.
What's
based
our
on
time at? 7:20
here.
Okay.
So a couple things here I will make note of again. Shout out Tim Murkey. He is at Yankee Stadium watching the Cardinals game. Like I said, we talked a little bit about it last night during our delay. Cardinals, man, they look like they were out of it completely, and then they win a couple games, draw me back in. They were at one point before last night, they were 6 games behind the Braves in the wild card standings, but they lost last night. I don't know what the Braves did. And then they're winning today against the Yankees. If they can win this series against the Yankees, I watch almost every Cardinal game anyway, so I'm drawn in no matter what. As you see, Chase and is working on the field there with Ethan Jowers, the athletic trainer we were talking about earlier. But Tim, enjoy the game. Hopefully the Cardinals win. Nancy Greenwald, has number 88 played? I've been called away from the game for a while. Number 88 is 6-foot-tall freshman. We are proud grandparents. So
we don't have 88 listed on either one of our rosters. Our
rosters aren't completely
Right.
correct, so we can't really speak to it.
But Owensville, typically, I mean, there's maybe 1 or 2 freshmen that get in games.
Doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with size and development, just not to that point yet. So,
I'm looking down here on the sideline, though. I see 60s, 80s, 70s, 74. I see an 89, 83.
oh, here we got another fun fact here. Jackson's dad, so the quarterback's dad, is the defensive coordinator and has the tackle record at Missouri State.
Wow.
Interesting.
I'll take
So
a
it
guy
sounds
like
like-
that as my defensive
Well,
coach.
also, I think they said earlier that their starting quarterback had 160 tackles last year himself. So, tackling just must run in the family. They must be a family that
I'm not going
is
to
good at-
Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, must be good at tackling people. And I'm not surprised by that at all. Watching Jackson take the ball and run it right between the tackles, he's not afraid to draw that contact. And on defense, he's not afraid to go initiate the contact either. So looks like it's gonna be a running play to the right side. He's got some green. He's got some room, and we have a penalty flag come in. I have no clue. It was in the secondary, so it was thrown at about 8 yards from the line of scrimmage downfield. So
It's going to be a hold.
if it's a hold on the defense,
Holding.
hold on the offense. Hold on the offense. That's going to be a spot foul. It's probably going to be they're just going to lose 2 yards on the play, I'm going to bet. So they lose the 8-yard gain. I guess it'll be 1st and 12. I guess. The look on the sideline here, Ethan Jowers is still working with Chase Crosby, looking like he's working out a cramp in his right calf.
Yeah, you could tell that thing was tight on him because he was rolling around with his hands on his helmet out there.
Yeah, that's a painful deal.
Yeah, me
That's
and my
exactly-
roommate in college, we would just try to flex our calves out, and make them cramp before we cramped.
I was a little off on my yardage. It's going to be a 1st and about a 14 for the Rebels here, as it's going to be a running play that is stopped in the backfield by the Dutchmen as they
There
get
you
a
go,
good
boys.
swarm there to stop that up at the 46. So it's going to be 2nd down. They lost 2 yards on that and about 16 to go.
There you go.
Tackled by Henry Leb, for those listening at home.
Whoops.
2nd and
2nd
15.
and
Hey, the
15.
live viewer says 3:12 right now, so we definitely
new
eclipsed
highs.
300 today.
Let's go. This is awesome.
If this was an Xbox, we'd have an achievement pop up.
Chase Crosby is jogging it.
All right, hopefully
He's ready
Chase
to get
can in
back.
the game. Jackson looks like he's just going to keep it himself, go initiate that oh my goodness, he's got some green. and he picks up a first down on a 2nd and 16. You know, he's really good at finding a hole, navigating through it, and then just working through contact.
Right. Yeah, you see him he's a bulldozer.
He really is, yeah, and I would imagine that
Oh.
he's not somebody that you are envious of having to square up and tackle in the open field.
Liam Rasmussen again. They called the officials timeout for that one, but oh, boys.
All right, so it looks like we're also at that 6-minute mark. Is this the water break?
It's either the water break or that might be exactly what it is.
Number 55 there come off the field. He's had some cramping issues or some leg issues or something. You saw him on screen just a second ago as we zoom in here to the our camera person is doing a great job of showing the huddles this quarter. Last couple stops. The only thing I would maybe say is stay on there just a little bit longer. Moving around quite a lot, but at least we're getting to see a lot of different things. See some of the youngsters on the sidelines there. I know some of those guys. We had one in the chat last night that he was having a game today. So any youngsters out there playing football today, good luck today on your game. All right, we got some more stuff here. Haley Pirtle, appreciate you guys broadcasting. Rebels fan watching from St. Charles at Lindenwood University bowling tryouts.
Hey, right on.
Oh, Haley Pirtle, just want you to know. My family owned a bowling alley the first 15 years of my life. I love bowling. Absolutely love it. Bowled my first league sanctioned 300 in 2012. Definitely helped fill the void for me after not getting to play high school sports as well. So have fun at the bowling tryout. Alex, fun fact, Meister Harlow. Oh, okay, yeah. He gave us the fun fact there about the Missouri State record. That's cool. James Cooper, go Cubs. Oh, my goodness, James. Get out of the chat. James is in my...
We need a moderator in here.
We need a moderator, which we do, just so the chat knows we can moderate this. So you are limited to some degree on what you can say. So, but James, he's one of my accounting students, very smart student here at OHS, does a lot of things for our school, and involved in the drama club. So, James, thanks for popping into chat. Wish you had some better insight, though, my man. We're Cardinals fans in this area.
And a Probst, you're a chiropractor in Park Hills. All right, so you take care of these kids. That's awesome.
So, Anna, you are probably, well, not probably, you're definitely more qualified to talk on what we're seeing with these kids going down in these cramps. I assume, this time of year with the heat and football. Okay, help me out with this one, Coach. Football is anaerobic.
Yeah.
So with an anaerobic sport like football where there's, stopping and then burst of energy, I think that helps.
Yeah, you definitely have a higher chance of
You have a
those
higher
cramps.
chance of those types of cramps. Whereas a sport like Coach Dave and I coach cross country, it's more aerobic. So less likely to cramp up.
Especially with that, super tight calf muscle, because these guys are constantly pushing, and guess what? They're up on their toes.
And what do you know? Jackson is going to take it himself again. And honestly,
If they don't do this for the rest of the
I would
quarter,
do it the rest of the quarter.
Yeah.
I would say until the Dutchmen prove they can stop it, I'd keep doing it.
You're at this point in time, you know what's working for you, and it's Jackson.
Yeah. He went and got another 7 there. He's taking a chunk every single time. Unless the Dutchman can,
I mean, you could go up with Karras Foster and maybe throw something deep in there on him. Looks like Connor Wellman's guarding Karras right now.
That's a tough assignment.
That is a tough assignment. And 31 out here for them is Barrett Hinson, and he's also a senior, I believe. Yeah, it says 5'9", so senior.
We're on the same page with the Rebel coach as they just hand it to Jackson just takes it himself again. He fights it down to the 10-yard line.
Is that good for a first down?
Yeah, definitely good for a first down. I think they got to the 12, so they could still get one more first down. And the clock is going to become an important part of this game here now, too, because it's at 5 minutes. So here's the situation. If Central scores here and they go for 2 as they've done all game and they get it, then I would say the game is pretty much ice.
You're right.
Because it's going to become a 9-point game, and you can't get 9 points in one swipe. But if they go for it and they don't get it, it becomes a 7-point game, in which case the Dutchmen could go down and score, but they got to make the extra point, or they go for 2 and try to go for the thing.
Right.
Jackson takes it himself again. He's met by number 25, Logan Bailey, probably one of our
tackle.
thickest guys there in the linebacking core.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of force meeting each other, a lot of muscle, I'd say. That was the shortest gain Jackson's had on the last few runs. Got, 3 yards, Coach?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. 3. Yeah, and again, you're taking the clock down every single time. I have our clock at 4. They have about 10 seconds more than I got. So somewhere in there.
Wyatt Lindbergh, nobody wants to hear about your bowling career, Mr. T. All right, I'll cool it off on the bowling career.
Well, he used to be jealous because he had his Wii and he'd bowl 300s over and over. He knew exactly how to do it.
Oh, wrapped up in the
Wrapped up.
backfield.
There we go.
You know, the fact that the Rebels can get another first down here, if I was their coach, I would almost want to run this thing all the way until I'm able to. If you can get a first down here and then run 3 more plays, you're almost going to eliminate the clock.
Right. First down or touchdown. Like, I'm going.
Yeah, you get the touchdown, you take it for sure, I think. But if you don't get the touchdown, you can almost end the game by getting a first down. Be interesting here to see how this plans out.
Dutchman got that line stacked up. I mean, we all know that.
Jackson takes it himself again. He's running it right up the middle. He meets Chase. He gets across. No, he does not get. Oh, my goodness.
The official on the far side, who can't even see it, is calling a touchdown. I don't know why
he's on this close side said he was down.
He has the clear view.
Honestly, for the Dutchman right now, I think the better situation is touchdown.
Right. But they're saying
he's down to 1, so this gives him a first down. So here's where the clock becomes a huge element of this game, guys. It is a first down, so we're going to get rid of the sticks on the far end. Oh, if I was the head coach, I would not try to score on this play. I would almost be – I would literally – so they're first and goal from the 1-yard line. I would literally almost be tempted to run the clock down as far as I can, which right now 26 seconds, clock is ticking off. I would almost be tempted to get under center and take a knee.
Yeah,
because
you're not going to lose the yardage, right?
He is under center, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
I think they're doing a Jalen Hurts tush-push.
I don't think so. I think they're taking a knee.
We'll find out who's right. Oh, he took a knee, but it almost looked like a bobble ball.
Yeah, I don't know that was. Yeah, it's a good. I don't know. But either way, I think this is a positive for the Rebels because now it's second down. They're going to be able to run 40 more seconds off the play clock.
Hey, guys, I do have 2nd and 10 here, but clearly if you're watching the video, you're going to see that it's like on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, so it's like second.
I guess I can go 2nd and 2. I wish I had if I had a 2nd and goal featured, I'd hit you, but.
It's goal to go here, but it's goal to go from the 2.
So.
I think they're kneeing it. Here.
Okay.
Because really, they could almost end the game.
Right.
Although maybe a snap and knee is a risky thing for high school. I don't know. If you're under center, you don't want to shotgun and snap and knee because then you're losing 5 yards.
Right. Okay,
nope,
now he goes for the push.
Going for it. That's
and the far judge takes him to the half-yard line.
If I'm the Dutchman, I'm letting them score. Honestly.
Yeah, you're not going to get the ability to play
football. Because even if you get a stoppage on downs, you got to go 99 yards in a minute.
Yeah, and that's not Henry Lev with another tackle. Number 70 for the Dutchman comes off the field.
Yeah, not the strategy I think I'd go with here.
Wyatt Shaw coming off the field. Right on. Good hustle.
Clock is tick, 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 tick. As Chris Berman would say, tick, 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 tick. Yeah, so it's at minute 14 right now, and they're still going to run off another 19 seconds. It's still only 3rd down, so if they don't get a first down here, they can almost run the entire play clock off where Dutchmen don't even have a chance.
Right, win it with one point.
They're probably going to let it run all the way down and take a timeout so they don't get a delay of game. Timeout by the Rebels. Yep, timeout Rebels.
Okay, what's our clock at?
52.9 seconds is what the clock is at. So we'll give it 53. And it's still only 3rd down, so if they don't get in here, they can run another 40 seconds off the clock with another full play clock and take it down to 19 seconds and then try to punch it in. If they don't punch it in on that play, then they're still up by 1.
With 99
the Dutchmen have 99 yards to go in like 20 seconds.
This is a tall task, and as you're looking at it, like what we said, let them score. But then at the same time, it's you've been taught all along, like your defense, you don't want to ever let anybody score on you.
That's true. This is where the coaching strategy part comes into this game. And honestly, I think probably 4 or 5 plays ago, I would have been trying to let them score and then trying to stop them on the 2-point conversion because I think that gives us the best chance. But hindsight's 20/20. They could fumble the snap and we could take the snap back to the house.
And then we'll try to save face.
And if that happens, I think Coach Dave is probably going to explode in excitement.
Yeah. I already have to use the restroom, so.
Okay, James Cooper, don't hate on him. don't hate on bowling coach Dave. I don't think Coach Dave was hating on bowling.
I was saying he bowled 300s. And then I was always jealous because he had Wii bowling.
It was Wyatt Lindbergh who was hating on bowling.
Yeah.
Also, Wyatt is one of my students in Intro to TV Studio. Made a hilarious video this week. Got to keep making more. All right, what are we doing here? We're trying to push it in. That's going to get in for sure. Honestly, my opinion, best case scenario here for the Dutchmen, but now we got to stop them.
Yep. All right, so there's 6.
Also, you got to think about this, Coach. If we can stop them here, I think one of the most successful things we've had today is our kick returns.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bet, though, on a kick return. They're going to squib it or something.
Right,
They're not going to give us a chance to have any open field running, try to make people miss. That's not going to happen. But this is the game right here, ladies and gentlemen. If they score this 2-point conversion, it's a 2-score game with 50 seconds left. Probably not in the cards for the Dutchmen.
I definitely feel like right now, as a takeaway that I've seen so far.
Oh, it's fumbled. He picks it right back up, literally. Wow. So they score it.
Oh.
So I would say that pretty much ices the game, in my opinion. But what a unique play. It was a handoff that gets botched, but it goes right back into his hands.
Was that with Karras?
It was, yes. So I don't know if it was on Karras or the quarterback, but regardless, the ball was dropped, hits the ground, and comes right back to him, which is very fortunate.
I don't know what's going on here. 59 just looked at his coach, said, should I sit down? And then he sat down.
At this point, I don't know that it matters a whole lot because
we're in between.
It's a 9-point game with 50 seconds left. We got to score twice. It would be
highly
unlikely. Vegas odds would be very much in favor of the Rebels at this point.
And so the way the Rebels have played today is very reminiscent of the way Pacific played us last year with ground and pound. Truthfully, if you're going against smaller lines, that's definitely my idea of the best way to get through.
Good strategy, yeah.
All right, 59 is up and walking again. Okay, good. It's a little nervous.
I think from this game, one hugely positive to take away from both teams is I think the only kind of injuries that we've seen are cramps.
You're right.
I don't think we've seen anybody with any kind of injury that's going to affect them for the rest of the season or anything like that. So that's fantastic. Happy to see that.
Right. Karras has been able to come back in, even though we thought at first he might have a bad ankle or something like that, but he has bounced back for the Park Hills Central Rebels.
If you stay with us immediately following the game, we will do a little bit of rundown, our thoughts, recapping the game a little bit, things like that, and then we will get off air. Again, we're up 300 and we've hit 350 at some point based on our statistics we see on screen here, but we're at 327 right now. Huge thanks to everybody that's tuned in with us today. Huge thanks to all those that hit that subscribe button. Even if you're from Park Hills, something we really appreciate, trying to grow our YouTube channel. Yeah. So here we are. Looks like we're about to have I bet here's where we see that squib kick. And that's exactly what we see. Dutchmen fall on it, do exactly what they're supposed to do.
Probably at 50 seconds. I pressed that button fast, but...
So it's 48.9 is what we're at. So it's going to be interesting to see, what's the play call here? Are we just going to chuck it deep? Are we going to try to get it in space somewhere on a little slant? What are we doing here?
So we're chucking it deep, but every time we do chuck it deep, it's a floater.
It's got to be somewhere nowhere near Karras Foster.
Right. Right. So, the size advantage over here against number 3, but you're going against 31, who is Barrett Henderson, and he's been a hawk on defense. But that's where I'm going. But now we're going to put zone coverage.
We are throwing. Oh, my goodness. We're not throwing because we're getting sacked in the backfield. It's
I stopped the clock
because Rebel defense has really come alive here in the second half.
And that's
Dutchmen really haven't been able to get anything going on offense here in the second half.
It's a 14-yard loss, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. He was reeling. He was going back.
We've taken a timeout by the Dutchmen. Smart call, Coach.
So that's going to give us a second and about,
22, 23.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. So that's not what the doctor ordered on the first play there.
Okay, let's hope they change the time because
Travis, Wyatt is talking about the conversation earlier on Wii bowling. We were talking about, somebody mentioned bowling earlier and made a couple comments, and then Coach Dave said that somebody bowled a 300 in Wii bowling, or someone was good at Wii bowling. Completely unrelated to the football game, so that's what's going on there, Travis. Okay, so as we're here, we'll zoom in on the Dutchman. You see there on the left, that is Coach Steve Benton, and then right next to him, beyond him, in the black hat, that is Jarrett Payne. And the guy talking to those Dutchman players is Coach Scott Lewis. So we got a great coaching staff here at OHS. Very thankful for all of them. Coworkers of ours, we enjoy them. They do a great job with our student athletes. So shout out to the coaching staff.
All right, so the clock, okay, they did add a couple seconds on. I stopped our clock at 38 seconds, and we were matched up before that, but we are at 33 seconds now. So
Redbird Ringer says, look like the Rebel D is back to form. I would agree. They've played some stiff defense in the second half, and the Dutchman offense has not been able to get away with very much. As we get a pass out to Zayden Gates, he's got a little bit of green. He's trying to find some room. He works his way back to about the line of scrimmage from earlier. And it's going to make it 3rd and 10. We have no timeouts left, so we are trying to get to the ball. I wonder if we're going to go for a spike.
Nope.
No, we're going to run a play. We're going to run a play here.
this is called scramble.
He is scrambling. It's going to be an incomplete pass to number 22 for us, which
What do we
takes
got,
us down
5
to
seconds?
6 seconds.
Perfect.
5.9.
No, if you guys are, I mean, you
22
guys
for
have
us
watched,
is Ricky Marquez. Fell just a little bit short of Ricky. I think we're about to line up here for the last play of the game.
you guys have watched the same game we have. I mean, Central Park Hills, truthfully, if they didn't have 3rd and 40 or 3rd and 30 a couple different times, I truthfully think they probably would have scored 2 other times during this second half. It was definitely like they were being held back. Our boys have played good defense. It's just that offensive line for Park Hills Central is just, it's big.
I think Devin Bainbridge says it best there. It has been a good game. This has been a great way to start the season, I think, for both squads.
We got one final play.
Adam
Let's see.
rolls out to his right. There
We're
is
going
a
to get a
hold
hold
on
on
the play.
Jim.
Logan Bailey makes the catch, and he gets a little bit out of it, but I don't think it's going to matter. The clock has struck 0. Going to cancel they're going to decline the penalty, and that's going to be the end of the game here, ladies and gentlemen. So hats off to the defending Class 3 state champs, the Central Rebels, on their win. Congrats. Have a safe ride home. And then to our Owensville Dutchmen, very proud of you guys. You guys came out, played a very, very tough game in a game that you were certainly not favored to win. So very excited to see how the season progresses for those Owensville Dutchmen, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. The whether you're ranked the number 16 or the number 1, you're still there's a ranking attached to your name, and whenever you go against a team that is the returning state champ and a ranked person right now or team right now, I'm
going to go help with the cameras real quick.
Absolutely.
Coach. We'll throw on. It looks like they already shut the cameras off up there. We'll throw on the webcam. We'll have our post game here in just a moment. Coach Dave, keep it going.
Yeah, so I definitely think that anytime you can come out here and you can get a hard-fought battle going on, you're going to walk out of here learning something, and our boys did just that. I know that our coaching staff is going to go here and take a look at everything that happened today, take the pros, take the cons, and fix them. Our Dutchmen, we had a lot of cramping, so hopefully, if that's a Saturday versus a Friday night, if we can cure that on a Friday night, then let's figure out what we're doing on Friday night that's different than Saturday morning. So that's one thing that I think, is a pretty easy fix, is to try to figure out why we're cramping as much. Who knows? Our boys, they're going to sing this fight song here for us, because that's what we always do. Whether win or lose or draw, we're going to sing a fight song at the end, and we're going to make sure that the crowd sings with us. So I'm going to see if I can tune that up for you guys. All right, so whether you heard that or not, our boys do sing our school song after every game. Cross country does it every time we pull into the parking lot from an away meet. It's just one of those things. Like, we're going to make sure we focus on Owensville first. That's what we're here for. But, this is educational-based athletics. So if we're talking about educational-based athletics, it's not about the win or the loss, the X's or the O's. It's really about, hey, growing, developing, learning, and progressing. Yes, of course, we all want to win, but at the end of the day, only one person gets to. So I think in this case here, 13-22, we figured out what our offense is doing. We figured out what our defense is doing. We figured out where we can go, what we can do better, what we did really bad, what we did really good, and just you kind of get into that struggle as a coach of, do we focus on our strengths and work to improve those? Do we try to take our weaknesses and build those up, or do we kind of try to balance both of them? Of course, there's There's a lot to do no matter what. And then, again, our Dutchmen are going to go play on a Thursday night. So this week here, it's not just a turnaround and, you still have all 5 days of practice. You can go take care of your Monday like normal, your Tuesday like normal. But, yeah, we got a 5-day turnaround now, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then we play. So, really, we only have 4 days turnaround now. So,
I'll give a quick shout-out here to Katie Lloyd. She was running cameras for us on the press box. Thank you, Katie. You did a fantastic job. Do you have anything you want to say to him?
No.
All right, she doesn't want to say anything. But, Katie, thank you again.
Yeah.
And this will count as one of your filming opportunities. Have a good
Solid.
rest of your weekend.
Great filming today.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Okay. So what all have you covered so far?
Well, I just talked about the wins, the losses, the X's and the O's, learning from what you did and trying to make things better,
Okay, so here's my big takeaways from the game. Obviously, scoring got started off by the Rebels, I believe. They were up 6-0 to start the game, and then Dutchmen responded with the first touchdown of the season, going to Zayden Gates, I believe.
Yes.
On a passing play from our quarterback, Adam Wilson. Dutchmen would take the lead with a extra point from German foreign exchange student Lex Mosler. I think that the Rebels would go on to score the second touchdown of the game on a touchdown to Karis Foster.
Karis Foster, yes, that should have been it.
And then the Dutchmen would respond to score their final time of the game, which was a pass to Chase Crosby. And then really in the second half, it was all Rebels from there. So here's my takeaway from the game. From the Dutchman perspective, they came in feeling like a chip on their shoulder, feeling like they were the underdogs. They were saying STFs in class, at least in my class, shock the state because they felt like they were not given a chance to win this game in the eyes of a state-ranked team on Max Preps. The Rebels come into the game, their first game of the season after graduating 12 seniors, trying to find their new identity after being a state champion football team. And I think they maybe got off to a little bit of a slower start, but if I was a Rebels fan, I would say that by the end, just like they were saying, the Rebel D looked fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the Rebels offense, you see Jackson, the quarterback, he is a guy that's probably going to do well for them all season long.
Yeah, for sure.
As long as he can stay healthy, he's a bulldozer as a quarterback, going to pick up a lot of yards on the ground. And I think the Rebels are primed for a pretty good season.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with everything there. I think if the Rebels they get more cohesive on their offensive side, then their defense is already holding it. The offense starts clicking, and all of a sudden they're definitely worthy of their ranking of top 16. I think the Dutchmen on the same end, right? We showed glimpses of really greatness. I mean, we can score. It's not like we can't. Figuring out which who it's going to. Are we running, passing? Like, we've got a lot of options. We have 3 really good receivers there I saw, and we know that 2 of them scored. Ricky's out there. So Ricky's just, in my opinion, Ricky's quick too. I see him on the track every year. He's quick. And then you got in your backfield, you got 2 power bruisers in Jaden Gerleman and in Logan Bailey. Like, both of those guys, you see them, you're like, okay, there's some muscle, there's strength, there's quickness, there's speed. It's just a matter of, okay, is it going to click? Are we going to be able to do it? So I definitely think that we can compete with people this year.
Absolutely. I also want to take a moment and give props to 2 other facets of the Dutchman football team here, and that's going to be the guys up front. We came into this game, we went through the rosters, and I think that the Dutchman line was definitely outmatched in size when it came to the Rebels, and they held their own today. It wasn't like they were completely dominated. They did hold their own, and that says a lot to, I think, their character and their grit. So I think they went out there, held their own. The other thing I will say is shout out to the Dutchman coaching staff, and the reason why is because I think they knew coming into the season they're going to have to get creative with some play calls and doing some things differently with completely different personnel. And I think they did a great job of showing us that today and gives you some insight on maybe to what the rest of the season could look like. But I think they're going to be creative throughout the season. Yeah,
that's one thing that you've just kind of looked across the board and from knowing who you lost 2 years ago to knowing who you lost last year, every year in high school sports it's rebuild. Right? I mean, it's almost rebuild every single year because we're not at that professional level where we're able to just pull in people and then try to sign a contract with them for 8 years. So props to them. They have to go out there and take the scrutiny of a win and a loss. It's a lot easier as a cross-country coach because nobody looks at it the same way as they do football. It's not the Friday night under the spotlight, or in this case here, the Saturday afternoon. Like, everybody's tuned in. That's why we had 300 viewers. But they have to take it, and they're not going to worry about it. They're going to come out here and they're going to fix what they need to fix. And I can sit up here and watch and say what I think you should do, but I don't know enough about football to ever be the coach. So I'm just excited to watch their next game and see what they change, see what they do. And, next week when we go against Borgia, hey, let's go renew that rivalry and go after them.
Yeah, I'll echo one thing you just said there, Coach, and that the coaches of the Rebels, the coaches of the Dutchmen, they're going to go and they're going to pick through the things that they saw that were good in this game. They're going to think about it probably all Labor Day weekend.
Yes, for sure.
It's hard to turn off. They're going to think about it a lot. They're going to be going through film, and then they're going to be looking at whoever their next opponent is for the Dutchmen. It's Borgia. Do we know who it is? Let's see. We have it here.
Or are they going to Jefferson or?
They're going
Jefferson.
to. Yeah, Jefferson Festus. So, yeah. So that gives you a little insight. The Central Rebels are going to go play Jefferson at home. It's going to be your guys' first home game. So Central come out in big numbers and support this team. It looks like you got a good one this year. Very exciting. I assume you're probably going to have some sort of celebration celebrating the state championship from last year. So hopefully that's a great moment and time for you guys. And then Dutchman, we travel to Borgia, correct?
Yes. So let's get it. Let's
Dutchman
get out
faithful, just down the road, 45 minutes down to Washington. And that's really all I got, Coach.
Yeah, no, that's me too, man. We appreciate everybody tuning in and great commentary today. We really appreciate that, especially without having the band at halftime. Having you guys out here talking to us, giving us some insight, that was super appreciative. And, yeah, can't thank you enough for tuning in.
You'll see us the next time that there's a home football game. Also working on the iron out the details on what softball game we're going to cover and also what volleyball games we're going to cover. So stay